All right, here we are again with the Slay Industries Second Edition podcast, Season 3, Episode 12, Squad Deathaxe. And we're just going to pick it up from where we left off last game. I'm going to introduce the players real quick. We got Diamond,
Playing Sputnik, the ADV Advanced Carrier, Heavy Support Package.
and we got Jacob,
Hello, I am Jacob, and I play Damocles, the Scout Xeno.
we got Mr. Slurps,
I am still Jonathan, and I am Mr. Slurps.
woo woo, and then Ryder, Dawson.
I am playing Krieg, the Scoutmaster of the group.
All right, and Drew.
Best save for last. I am playing Animus, the Evan medic.
Okay.
Oh, hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Who was that last guy? What was his name again?
We
I
had
had to
someone else. I thought that was it.
Yeah.
I know, so amazing. It just kind of wipes your memory.
I'm gonna take out my nerd.
I think
rage
it's like
before I
the
fall
it's
out
like
on
the
you guys.
Thousand Sons. It's like the Thousand Sons. They have one big disappointment and
I'm
think they're
just
a
kidding.
hit.
No.
All right.
Listen here.
So I'm gonna pick up from where you guys were standing last time. Y'all are looking around. You're standing in a fairly narrow street. There is roughly 40 dead carrion around you and your friends. There's an APC that is tipped forward into a muddy hole, about 3/4 sunk down in it, and it is at about a 60-degree angle, I guess I would say. Not 90, but it's about 60. There's 3 burned out Shiver Jeeps behind that. Anyways, you guys are standing between 2 rows of apartment buildings, and then there is one apartment building that is tipped over long ago above you. It's about 4 stories above you, and there's a whole bunch of cables hanging down. Probably some dead carrion hanging from the cables at this point. Blood is everywhere, gore, lots of explosions. It looks like someone set off several bombs in this area. Matter of fact, they did. And one of you is carrying a wait for item that you need to compensate your
Speaking of that,
figure out what you need to do with that.
item,
It's
Wait.
huge.
speaking of that item, I want to nudge Animus and be like, "Hey, are we gonna give it to him or?"
mean-
Wait.
I wasn't trying to keep the thing I have 0 skill for.
Well, not all
Since
of
I
us know
assume this-
that about you.
Since I assume this picks up like right after I've ripped it off, I
Mhm.
would literally like rip it off
Brandon.
and throw it at.
Does the Power Reaper have a belt instead of a clip?
It does. It's belt fed.
Oh, okay. So that's 100 rounds.
Well,
Okay.
it's got half a belt, which it would be about 100 rounds, I think.
Yep, it is. I have the stats for it right here in my face.
Mhm.
Okay, so out of character, like what would I have been doing during that last session?
Well, but just because of
Catching,
the way
covering our. You could have been covering like our behind and catching up to us after you heard a lot of gunshots because we did make a lot of progress down the road from where we ended up last.
we could
And
just say
like
you were
exploding.
covering the back and killing carrion back there.
We
That's-
were leaving you behind because we didn't want you to have to witness this wholesale slaughter of your own kind.
It's
Oh.
true. It's true.
Yeah,
They're not
You're
part of
looking out
my
for-
litter. It's okay.
If you wanted a hockey axe, there's about 20 of them.
Yeah. If you want to get in touch with your inner carrion.
There's also a couple power gauntlets, and I think there was a greater carrion that had an axe, I think.
There's a couple Mauler axes here and there, I would say.
Oh, also for note, Brendan, since we did cut it a little short for the combat, narratively, Damocles is going to go over by one of the mutant carrion that he's killed, chop its head off, make sure it doesn't regenerate it, and he's going to take a tooth as a trophy.
I'm down for that. I would make you make a roll, but I'm not really going to do that.
That's fair. Thank you.
So you snatch the biggest tooth out of the head of a disgusting mutant carrion. Notably, not any of its arms are the same length,
Yep. Just a portion from the eyes.
and
just
no
a
two
portion
of them really look the
limbs.
same. So
Yeah.
Taking contraband from the battlefield, Scout.
Is that in character?
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Mm.
Oh, and then you got your my guys.
Just a rip.
We got all three shivers are here, or the shiver units, the troops.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just a little souvenir. If I have to lose it, I'll lose it. If they don't allow it.
Is there any particular ornate-looking hockey sticks?
You know, I mean, there's at least one pristine quote unquote hockey stick.
Like, if there's any that looks like they've,
There's no such thing as a Mastercraft hockey stick.
well, no, but like they have shit, like tribal shit wrapped around it. I pick it up.
Yeah, for sure, all of them. You know, all of them have doodads and knickknacks and uh, carrying tribal symbols on there.
Is
Pick up a
it?
particularly nice-looking one.
You know what? I would even tell you you would find one with a bunch of croak feathers on it, and it has what looks to be like a crude looking vulture head drawn on it.
Perfect.
There we go. So that way, Sputnik doesn't get confused. These aren't trees; these are rocks.
So, anyways,
Ouch.
yeah. So y'all heft a Power Reaper to who?
Damn,
Sputnik.
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 Sputnik. Can you carry a weight 4 item? I mean,
Where would I distinguish that from?
well, you would take your strength and multiply it times 3, and that gives you your encumbrance.
Strength is 6, so
Oh,
18.
yeah, you can for sure carry that, I'm sure.
Wait.
Like a human, like would get like maybe I think the minimum is 8, so like a human in power armor with a couple of items probably couldn't tote that thing at all.
Gotcha.
Or a weak ass bitch Evan with 0 strength, like definitely couldn't carry it.
I'm just gonna be cradling this thing and just like
I can tell I've been playing Fallout. Huh?
I'm just gonna be cradling this thing and like wiping filth off of it. And just
It's a
mumbling
little
stuff.
busted, but with a little TLC, it could be, good for a while.
One more time, what's it?
It's
What's the
a
name of it?
Finn Power Reaper 808. That's the big Power Reaper. That's not even the little one.
I'll post an image of it on the chat.
Yeah, it's a big
Cree's,
boy. It's a vehicle
Cree's
mounted
gonna
weapon.
say. Cree's gonna say you're welcome to him before turning and looking at the sergeant. And kind of tilting her head a bit. Is he still
The
kicking?
sergeant,
I guess to say. Yeah. Like
he
she's kind of looking
I
at the
mean,
private and then to him.
the private's still acting as his crutch. Yeah, given that
But
they.
he's alive.
Yeah. He didn't take any damage. The injured guy didn't take any damage this battle. So,
He's
and
gonna
yeah,
look at the private with a little bit of a glare and say, "Next time, don't drop him so quickly. We don't want to damage anyone else that we can save."
well,
This whole time, I want to say Animus is looking very incredulously at Krieg for the whole "you're welcome" comment.
Oh yeah.
And then she's gonna turn to Animus and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mister Stand Back and not see the gun. Who was the one who spotted it and pointed it out to you all, and then kept and made sure no one jumped on it and used it against us?"
I'm pretty sure that was the multiple explosions I dropped.
Yeah. Well, how would that have fared if you would have been blasted apart by that, Mister Science Guy? Huh?
All right.
One-
Quit your yammering.
One
We got a job
explosion
to
would have solved that.
You really think you could have made it there with how lackluster you were throwing it on the sides?
Yes. Excuse me, how many
You're
did you kill?
unbelievable. You're
What
unbelievable.
was your kill count from that?
At least I didn't take 50 drugs to do it. Let's all move up.
Yeah, like as you guys are arguing, damn it, it's just gonna move up as you ignored him.
the
I
shiver
don't acknowledge subordinates
private
unless I need to tell them something.
being having been chewed out a little bit, continues to haul the sergeant. But that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take out my knife and carve a name into this thing, and it's gonna be called Dr. Spray.
Make a sleight of hand check. See how badly he fucks up his name.
I mean, it's not exactly
It-
a precision implement.
Insert. Oh, yeah, he has to roll. So Axe doing right. Insert
Yeah,
squad name
Yeah,
here.
do it.
Um,
I wanted to say Sputnik.
it is in large scratched letters. Yeah. All right. So, you guys gonna continue on, or are you guys going to check out this immediate area, or do y'all have some more discussions y'all needs to have amongst yourselves?
No, we need to leave because the carrion didn't run off far. They just ran into a building nearby, and they probably won't stay scared for long.
I will say, while y'all did kill 30 to 40 of them, I'm not even sure about the final count here at this point.
We
Um,
killed 48.
yeah,
I counted it before we left.
there was another 40 or 50 that ran off. So,
That was probably
Yep.
just a scouting party. We should probably leave as soon as we can.
Don't
Can't
worry,
hear you
Greg.
from
You
up
don't have
there.
to be scared. I can be here to protect you.
She's gonna aim her gun at him.
I literally just.
Ooh, scary.
I just give what the equivalent
I'm
of a
about to
Xeno.
roll a shoot. I'm about to shoot at Animus.
God damn it. I was about to say, Damocles just gives you the equivalent of a bra look as a Xeno could in a scout interface helmet. And
So
just
not at all.
yeah, just not at all, and just gonna walk up, go into comms next to you, and just say, "We should probably leave. There's a scout. That was probably just a scouting party," and he's gonna go lead the group.
well, I can tell you, y'all Sector Ranger is happy not to be leading again. Y'all's borrowed Sector Ranger.
I shove him ahead of everyone.
Well,
He doesn't get off that easy. He still pissed me off more than Animus did.
hey, he was killing
To
people
be
during
fair, that's
battle.
not hard to do.
That's the point of having anger. I have to endorse it.
All right. Well, you guys walk back out into the torrential rain because I kind of assumed y'all had stopped into that building just because it would provide a little bit of shelter from the rain. Um, and
We live on more. Rain's not gonna bother us.
rain doesn't bother you until it turns to rivers and oceans, and then it gets really dangerous.
Well, then we just got whoever doesn't have the swimming skill just get better. That's a skill issue.
Get good. I like it. All right. So, uh, we'll carry on then. If everybody's done what they're going to do here, if everybody, or unless
Yes.
anybody has some extra questions, Mr. Slurps, I haven't heard you
Uh,
chime in there or anything.
what's? I'm not sure what
Oh,
input I can have.
What?
Did you have any more questions about the scenario they just walked out of?
There you
Not
go,
really.
Slurps.
No.
Okay.
I mean, we killed some
Oh yeah,
guys,
yeah.
and that's about it.
There you go,
Now,
Slurps.
I assume you reload your weapon and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone take note of all the ammunition that was expended because it was substantial.
I only
We got
Yeah.
about half a clip left, and I'm switching it for a full clip.
I only used one
Um,
magazine,
I
so-
have 4 rounds left in my clip. I am going to hold on to that because I'm not sure I'll be able to keep track. Well,
Okay.
actually, no, I'll keep track. I'll just put them separately.
Also, Slurps, I did not charge you that second suppression fire, so it was only the 40, just because you had to go. So,
Okay.
so you still have 40 rounds in that magazine.
All right.
A fellow suppressive fire.
He did, and he killed a
He did
bunch
with
of
a
people.
pistol.
He was mowing them down like the rest of them.
Yeah.
All right. So on and on you guys go. Out back into the rain between the towers, and the shivers seem to be picking up the pace a little bit. Even the one toting the injured one, as best they can. The sector ranger says it's not far off. You can hear him chirp over the comms. Just about home free. And it goes dead silent. I love it.
Tech checks with hearing.
Ever truly home free?
If y'all want to roll detect, feel free. I'm going to say the difficulty is 10.
Is it with vision or hearing?
I'm gonna say a little bit of both.
Okay. Well, you should specify for me because that would automatically give me a story changing success if I pass.
I'll let you use your story changing or your looks dice here.
What
I
is the target
pass
number?
with 2.
That is a pass with 2 degrees, with another 2 from vision, and if you include hearing, another 2 from hearing.
So pass with
We'll say
8
one or the other.
degrees.
2
Jesus.
degrees.
Okay. Either way, it's a storytelling. It's story
Yeah.
changing.
He is now the GM. Anyway, I pass with 2 degrees as well.
All
Yeah, I
right.
decide what we do.
So you guys, while you are kind of hemmed in by buildings, and it doesn't seem to be getting any lighter on the tower blocks. Periodically, you guys can see like down a side street that isn't completely blocked, and y'all can see some distance. And I will say, with your 4 degrees of success with vision, you can see that the carrion are everywhere. Like y'all are like they're kind of at the outskirts of like they're kind of at the edge of I guess the edge of the terrain, in that like they're up in buildings, they're up on the rocks, they have scouts everywhere. Um, it's almost as if you guys just busted through like a light perimeter line. And when I say light, it's because you're just seeing so many of them. But ahead, kind of down the way, you guys can see a low and open area, um, a couple 100 meters off. And what you can see is it kind of resembles, I guess, just because of the openness, maybe like a huge park, or like how like if you were to be in New York and the buildings would part for Central Park, something like that, but there's just no trees. You guys, you even start to see like ancient playground equipment. And be kind of beyond some of that, you can see these. They're not massive. They're not incredibly tall, but they're called their ceramite walls, I believe is what they're called. Um, it's the fortifications that the Shivers set up. They're uh, well, they can construct them very quickly. Is what I guess the best way to put them, and they're fairly defensible. Um, and you can kind of see, like, even though you're kind of above it, which would give you kind of a sniping advantage, the fact that it's in a big open area where they could actually set it up and be well defended. You can see that there's a double set of walls, and there's also a number of towers. You can count about 8 towers, and each one of them is manned with a Power Reaper, as well as multiple snipers. And you guys, about 400 meters away, you guys can see pretty much, like I said, at the edges of the perimeter of like the firing, uh, kind of at maximum firing distance surrounding this park. There's just carrion everywhere.
So we're essentially looking at the beaches of Normandy, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, there's a little fort y'all are moving down to, but I will say at least b- between y'all and the fort, there's not a direct fighting force. Like y'all aren't having to confront anyone to get directly in. Um, and
We essentially cleared out what would be defying us from getting there.
hmm and you guys can see that the troopers up on the walls, they've all taken all sorts of aims at you guys. There's snipers, there's power reapers turned in y'all's direction. As y'all are a couple 100 meters off, and as y'all approach, y'all are absolutely sure, and you start hearing chatter over, not the Vox, but you start hearing chatter over the radio, and asking you for your call signs and who are you, and stop and identify yourselves. Just a number of people demanding you identify.
And nudge the sector ranger and tell him, right, give him those fancy words you like so much.
Yeah, he starts calling out what was it? The challenge phrases that I think y'all got earlier. I forget what they were. Unfortunately, my brain's kind of mush right now.
Something about Gorzone or the
Yeah,
best
yeah,
TV,
yeah.
TV show.
Yeah, it was questions about Gorza. Yeah, that's what it was. Um, back in World War II, how they would say lightning, flash, and thunder. It's kind of that kind of noise, if you've ever heard of that.
Hmm.
But anyways, and he says, "This is Sector Ranger Wolf coming in with some survivors from a destroyed convoy and some ops. Squad Deathaxe, from what I hear." And he says, he says, "We've got one man's severely injured. And remarkably, y'all are lightly injured. Actually, nobody else is like, even injured at all.
Nope.
Um,
Yeah, all of us are clean.
but when y'all get about 50 meters out from the door, or the it's a double wide gate. They open both of them, and there's about 20 something shivers lined up to just smash anything that's coming forwards, and about 5 guys come rushing out to meet you guys.
Is this at Endeavor?
Yep.
We made it.
Oh, Endeavor.
Anyways,
Thank you.
one of them says, "I need to see your badges before I let you any further."
Flash.
And
Flash.
Yeah.
he
Yep.
he pulls out a little oyster pad and uh, a little device, and he starts swiping your badges. It's been done before. Um, and he goes down and swipes everybody in, and you can see he kind of checks out your faces. If you're wearing a helmet, he asks you to show your face.
I'm just gonna take it off. Yeah.
Yep.
He
Take
says you
mine
don't
off
have to
Flash.
though.
take your helmet all the way off. Just show your face. He says
All right.
Mm.
Flip.
we can't
Flip
we can't
visor.
be too careful.
Zoosh.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I wonder if they ever got that sniper down from there.
Yeah, that's been
Almost like
like a year ago now.
Hey, look,
almost
man. Like,
taking out an afro. Oh god.
Anyways, some of the guys grab Sergeant Rollins or Robbins, who's
That
limping.
dude's gone through 3 knee.
It's Robbins. It's been Robbins the whole time. I want to say Rollins for some reason. Rollins virus.
Seth Rollins.
That's altered carbon. Yeah, yeah. But anyways, they kind of motion y'all in, say, "Come on in," so we can get the door shut or the gate shut. And if y'all, unless y'all tarry outside for a little bit, they bring y'all through a set of gates, and then through another set of gates. There is a doctor that basically comes over and just starts checking over you guys. Does anybody refuse any kind of treatment from the doctor?
Krieg does.
You do?
Yeah, Krieg does not want someone messing with her.
Well, just because you weren't the first person, basically what the doctor does is they go up and they check the temperature of the guy in front of you and basically check his face, and you can get the assumption that the doctor's probably checking for some either common illnesses or common signs of illness. Uh, when the doctor comes up to you, do you still stop them?
Hold on, I didn't hear any of it because I got interrupted. What was that?
When the doctor comes up to the first couple of people, since you're not first in line, seems to be like getting them like opening their mouths and like checking their faces and checking their temperatures, but doesn't seem to be any more invasive than that.
Then if that's all that he's doing, then she'll let it.
I didn't know if you were gonna make a thing out of this, but that's fine. Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand why.
So there's a certain reason that we should probably not let everyone know that she has a claw.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to get shredded by flechette rounds. Um,
Yeah.
but okay. So, anyways, you guys get into the camp. Uh, One of the guys says there'll be somebody out to talk to you shortly. Just go grab yourself something to eat. Um, and the shivers. The sector ranger Wolf says, "Guys, well, appreciate the ride, guys." And as well as private listener. He says, "Yeah, we. I don't think we'd have made it without you guys. I don't think we were gonna make it back to the hole."
No, you weren't.
Next time, think before either of you act. Increase is going to step past them.
but uh, but they depart off to the chow hall without saying much else. Um, anyways, you guys are free to roam the camp. You can see that there's dozens and dozens of tents. There's probably 100 tents in the in the area. You can see there's still some old playground equipment. Um, there's a couple of small buildings that look like they've been recently constructed. But there's mostly just a lot of tents. Um, if you guys were to take a count, there's probably I don't know, 300 or 400 shivers here, just offhand, just moving throughout the camp. They're staying pretty busy. There are a lot of guys sitting around having drinking tea. It, most of those guys would be inside tents because you can't drink a cup of tea in the rain. Um,
You
Bet.
can't. It's just hard.
what I will say is let me reference it here real quick. Um, you guys can see at any moment there's a whole bunch of shivers, like I said, sitting down, eating chow, drinking beer, Dave beer specifically. The only thing you see to drink is pretty much Dave beer and tea. Um, and then there's some small groups of gambling going on here and there, mostly playing cards for what appears to be small amounts of unis. Um, let's see. Oh, y'all had a pretty good generally detect checks. At some point, y'all are kind of wandering through the camp, and then there's a group of shivers, Campbell Sector shivers, sitting there, and they've got what appears to be a feral mongrel, which is like a mutant dog from Cannibal Sector. And they're playing with it.
Oh,
Like fetch playing.
Like
Is
rolling
it a
around with it and giving it scratchos and like you can tell it's a feral mutant dog that someone has tamed.
Krieg will step over and butt in on this? That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check this out.
It's
Yeah, Damocles is gonna walk towards the dog too.
it's not exactly like as killer and deadly as a dak, but it does look like a large mongrel dog. Like it's pretty huge. But you can tell it's not full grown. And when you guys walk up to it, like its demeanor immediately changes from playful and happy to angry and deadly. Like, and the guy's like, "Wait, hey, hold up! Don't get too close.
Can I
She
make
she
an
she
animal
don't she don't
husbandry
know
roll?
you. Yeah,
Can
you
I make
can.
an animal husbandry roll?
You sure can.
Yippee!
Um,
Get to abuse this roll
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 10.
I assume it looks
because I don't one luck. That is yeesh.
Yeah, sector mongrels are
Uh,
kind of rough.
it's a 10.
It's a 10.
What does animal husbandry use?
Uh, Concentration, I think. I'd have to look it up. One sec. Dun, dun, dun. It is an official thing.
So
Let me see. Animal
it's the
husbandry
difference between 2 and 3 degrees.
skills. It's knowledge.
Oh, it's the same number. So it's 2 degrees because I don't pass with a 5, but I pass my pass fail and in 2 degrees.
So
I
despite
had to luck it though,
despite
so I'm down to 2 luck.
oh, I gotcha. Despite the warning they tell you, stay back because they obviously like this dog quite a bit. Um, and you come walking up to it despite the warnings, and it's growling, and a dog in full-on aggressive anger, and then, you know, but you apparently roll pretty damn well on animal husbandry roll, and instead it cautiously comes up and sniffs your hand instead of biting you like I was gonna have it do. Um,
It almost would have.
Upon closer inspection, you can see that this thing, it's definitely got some mutations, but it doesn't appear to have, it doesn't look like it's got any of the signs of any kind of viral infections or anything. It, in other words, a few generations of this dog, and you might end up with a regular domesticated dog. Um, that being said, it is pretty beefy for a regular dog. Um, it
She's gonna give a small smile and say, kind of reminds me of Fenrir.
It does seem to be fairly well fed. Oh no, I'm sorry. It seems to be excessively well fed. Sorry.
Is very happy.
And kind of you end up making some small talk with these shivers, and they end up they call it the Bridge Hound, and its name is Dog Meat.
Hmm.
Oh,
Reference.
Yes.
Unoriginal, I know.
It's good. It's good. Also, Vortex joined the call. Is it possible for him to drop in, or do you want him to listen for now?
Absolutely. Hey Vortex.
This is a perfect place to do it too.
Hey Vortex, you there?
Sorry, I was choking on a soda. What is
Okay.
it?
Hey, you want to play tonight?
Yeah, I can play.
What character do you have?
I have the riot one.
The Shakhtar?
Yeah, the malice.
Cool. All right. Here's the thing. Your character is a member of a squad called. Oh wait. You were in Deathaxe earlier, weren't you?
I believe maybe. I think so.
Or I don't remember that.
I don't think so.
It was during the con. It was during the con. He was
Hey,
part of that.
I'll tell you what.
Oh,
What was your character's name again?
let me pull it all up. You can keep going. I'll get the stuff up.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put you in a different squad when you show up.
Got it.
Okay.
I assume I'm joining forces basically.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh boy.
Or something.
Um.
I don't like the laughter.
Yeah, something like
So
that.
so anyways, while you guys are just standing around, you can hear quite a few shivers in the background. A couple of them seem to be staring at y'all and pointing, and at least two of them are kind of making a joke and laughing at y'all, saying, "Hey, the show ponies are here!"
I got riot. It's riot. That's the
Riot.
name.
Okay, you're
Can
about
I make an intimidate on the dudes who pointed at us?
one moment. Vortex,
Good.
your character Riot has been assigned to a squad called Beauty and the Beasts. Um, you are not squad leader. Your squad leader is an Evan named Malaise.
Interesting. Okay. Malaise.
But you are here, and you've got the same orders that their squad actually does. But uh, but yeah, if you need some more information about your squad, it's pretty big. But just go ahead and feel free to interact and role play. The situation.
All right, and this is a podcast, right?
Yes,
Okay, got it.
We are alive right now.
Oh, cool.
live to your viewing audience.
Hey, Mom, I'm on TV.
but uh, but anyways, um, let's see. While you guys are standing there, you hear at first it sounds like a rhythmic thumping, and then it just gets louder and louder and louder, and it's definitely overhead. Does anybody have pilot?
I don't have it, but I have concentration. Can I roll it?
Sure.
I'll roll
I
concentration.
do.
We'll say it's gonna be a difficulty 7 normally, and make it a 10 if you don't have it.
I have one in pilot because I took it over pistol because I
This
don't
would be
use
an
pistol.
appropriate time to roll it.
Yippee!
So you would
That-
just roll
Let's
one
steal
die,
one of
right?
these figures.
It's
This
not
is
a
fun now.
pass.
Botch.
What is the number we're looking for?
A 7 if you got it. Pilot.
I do just meet it.
Bots for
One
Damocles.
with 2 degrees. Botch for
Damocles,
Damocles.
you're pretty damn sure that sounds like the carrion are charging, and you know there's a lot of them out there.
I'll immediately dart over to the wall and get ready to shoot.
All right, you climb up a ladder and jump up the wall with a bunch of shivers,
Yep.
because there's a ladder, and that's fine. They
Uh,
a lot of them look kind of crazy at you whenever you jump up, like you've been spooked. They're all wearing helmets, so you really can't read their facial expressions. Most of them haven't taken firing positions, but you do, which makes you stand out for being super prepared.
Yep.
Um, whereas Krieg, you how many successes did you get?
2.
2 degrees. You hear what sounds like the sounds of a killcopter. No, not a killcopter. A bunch of killcopters. No, more than a bunch. I would describe it as a swarm of killcopters, and you can kind of tell. Just from you can hear
oh boy.
just the sound sounds like a fuck ton of killcopters. And you can kind of tell the direction that they're at, and you can't really see them from your vantage. But if you were to go up on the wall or something, or find a high spot, you might be able to get a good view.
I raise you. Can I make a detect hearing? They're really good hearing.
Uh, yes, you could if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna give you the same information I already gave you.
Okay, I want to make it in.
But like,
I'll
question.
pass with 4 degrees.
Okay. Um, distinctly, I will tell you, like you said, you hear what sounds to be like a horde of
Hey, there we
killcopters.
go. There's a fail. There's a failed roll.
Okay. Um, well, and just to say, even although Damocles failed the roll and did something kind of goofy, um, you can see Damocles, since you are at the advantage or the vantage point, you can see aiming down the sights of your gun, just bursting through the clouds. You can see not less than 40 killcopters coming out of the
Oh,
clouds towards the bridgehead.
Okay. All right. I take a look at that, and do I see the Slay insignia on them?
All of them. Yeah, you can see it for sure. They are Slay issue standard issue killcopters, and now that you can see, and anybody who's really taking notice at this point, I'll just say that you could have this information if you wanted it, if you moved for to a vantage point. You can kind of see that they're turning hard to the northeast at this point. You realize that they've cut pretty hard, about 45 degrees to their current course. Um, and watching them, you can see two of them seem to be having extreme problem. It looks like they're having some kind of engine problems. You can see smoke is just trailing out of two of them.
Does it look
Um,
like they're being fired upon by something? Or
I don't. If you had a really good detect check, I'd let you know what was going on.
okay, I'm gonna
Raises
roll.
hand.
Raise his hand. Nobody said I moved to get a vantage point, so I'm just kind of talking out
Yeah,
my
I'm
ass
not doing
here.
it. I need to stop doing all these. Mister, he's a better scout than me. Should be able to see this stuff.
What is the check?
A
I'm gonna
detect.
say it's a 10.
10.
Nothing's easy.
Uh,
Do
yeah,
it.
that's fair. I already rolled. Let me check my detect. Fuck, I have a +4 to that, so that's a fail, but not a botch.
Almost a
Okay.
botch.
You're not sure what the hell's going on. All you know is that there's a couple smoking killcopters at the edge of your vision.
All right.
Amongst the swarm.
Okay. I'm just gonna go over comms, and I'm just gonna say that a convoy of killcopters is coming this way. It looks like some of them are damaged. A shit ton of them.
Coming this way?
Yeah, they're coming this way, right? Running.
Uh, you wouldn't. They're not gonna come over the top of the bridgehead. No.
Oh well, they're around the vicinity then. My
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. They're inside
40's a
of the
big number.
bridgehead. That's a lot of
40.
killcopters.
question. Can you set the scene for me a little bit for environment?
You're about 20 miles out into Cannibal sector, and which is basically a giant dystopian city that's been abandoned for centuries. It's full of the absolute worst monsters you can imagine in your nightmares. Uh, Wild man-shames, carrions, cannibals, Just about anything murders and that wants to eat you.
Uh,
Torrential rainfall. Your squad has spent the last couple days trying to get out here. It's been pretty brutal. You've seen a whole bunch of dead bodies, both friends and enemies. But your squad managed to get out here without any personal losses. But y'all did come out here with a group of shivers, and a couple of them died. Um, the, you your your squad hasn't been given further orders at this point, but you're on a platinum BPN, the first one you've ever seen, to get out here, and apparently there's further orders at some point. The point was is to get out here, and you're inside what a bridgehead, which is basically a double constructed wall, and it's about 300 or 400 soldiers of your team, in fairly impressive armor and in decent conditions. There's 100 or more tents out here, mess tents, personal tents, tons of squads, and like I said, you've been out here for probably about 6 to 10 hours.
Okay.
Um,
And this is and I see these guys too.
yeah, a squad of operatives just came in with a couple of half dead shivers. One of them was missing an arm and a leg. Um, but it looks like they've come in and they've kind of gone casually to do a walkabout at the camp. One of them just kind of grabbed his gun and just hauled butt up to the edge of the wall, like he was about to just start killing things, because like he seemed like he was on alert.
I
Um,
will accompany that person then.
okay. Well, in that case, Damocles, a giant malice stormer climbs up next to you, and uh,
I kind of sit against the cover, with them
it's it.
and go like,
This wall is
"What's up
not
there?"
built for someone of your size, so the cover is not very good for you.
I'll crawl in basically then and go like, "What's out there?"
What?
It's all you
I,
got,
I,
this.
I just say, like in a routine militaristic order, that looks like a convoy of kill copters, more than I've ever seen. A bunch of them look damaged. And then I turn around and I notice you and says, and I look up and I just says, "Oh, you're new." Also,
Hello.
also, Aaron, for respective, go over here to this section over here with all the images. The images I'm circling right here with the orange hand. That's an image of Cannibal Sector right there. Right
Where
there.
are you?
Like off the table over here.
Wait.
Uh,
Move your hand a little bit.
WASD.
Oh, is that
To
over
move,
here? Oh, I see.
move,
This
Right next
the
to the
lightning
game
bolts, right?
yeah, with the lightning bolt right
Oh,
there.
there. I see it. I see it. Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and if you go to the right, there's this little map of Cannibal Sector that's glued on here. We're currently on North
Position 1.
Compact Point, position 1.
Oh, I see over here.
A
Yeah, so
multiple.
I get up on my knees and stuff, and I take my right shield out and I use it as cover. But I generally get ready. Like if anyone starts shooting, I'm gonna help you take cover.
Well, I will tell you at the furthest edges of the park that the bridgehead's built in, you can definitely see there are hordes and squads of carrions moving out there. If you were to jump down, you could definitely go get in a fight if you wanted to.
I think I'll look it up here.
It might be a really big fight though.
Yeah,
Aaron's gonna give a bit of a sigh over the comms and look up at them. Are you guys done playing, or can we figure out what we need to do next?
I look back and I look over to the person I met. And like, well, we could make mud angels, but
I'm gonna look over at Animus and be like, man, they seem a lot better armed and prepared than they were last time we were here.
True, but I don't think that's a far stretch.
I just look over to this weird random Malice Stormer and I just tilt my head a bit. Sure, later, and I'll go back down. I'll meet up back with my squad.
oh, by the way, sorry, I should have introduced first. Hands out, or right hand out. Name's Riot.
I tilt my head, look at your hand, look back up you. Damocles, as I give a handshake.
Thanks. And just kind of you like shake your hand vigorously.
Um, while you guys are talking, I will say that the squads of you that are members of are the members of you that are in operative squads stand out very distinctly from the standard gray cannibal sector shiver camouflage. There are some of the cannibal sector shivers in heavier armors. None of them are wearing green. They do have a number of vehicles inside the camp. Um, but I will say, yeah, you guys can count amongst about the 300 or 400 soldiers. You could probably count out at least a dozen operatives that you can see right now. If you guys are curious to anything like that. And I will say it's probably gotten on to 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon at this point.
Craig wants to like kind of look around and see where it might be that we need to go next. Just see who we need to talk to.
Um,
Anyone kind of
you
stand
can
out?
go. You could. I mean, there are people in command staff that would be walking around. You could probably pull like a sergeant or a lieutenant or something, and maybe try to ask some questions if that's really what you wanted. Or you could just try to make a beeline and find the command tent.
Sure, we'll do that.
That's fine. Okay.
Detect.
I'm gonna go
Um,
sit under a nearby tent and start cleaning my new toy.
I will say you do know that it does need a little bit of maintenance. It's not exactly in the best condition, but it could be. But you could roll technical weapons on it to see if
I
you can get
have
it up to
that.
speed. Um,
I have that.
difficulty 10.
Difficulty 10.
Since you've got a shiny new Power Reaper.
Ah, would you
Pass.
look at that? Pass with 1 degree.
All right. It's gonna take you, at least an hour or two to buff this thing and to work some of the dings and re-grease it and take it apart. It's good. You basically you're going full maintenance routine on this thing, and it's
Yeah,
it's it's gonna take you a little while to clean it up. But
roughly about an hour. You're saying?
yeah, and it should
Okay.
operate. It should operate to normal standards at that point. Otherwise, I was gonna give you some negatives.
Okay. Okay. Well, I will go ahead and start the process. I don't know how long we'll be here, but
While
go
you're,
ahead and
I
start it.
mean, I assume you just kind of find a spot in any open tent, throw this big gun down, and just start working it. At some point, like a bunch of shivers start, sit around you in your vicinity, and despite you being a carrion, they're in there cutting up and drinking a beer. At some point, one of them comes over to you and offers you a Dave beer.
I'll accept and thank him and offer him a smoke.
Interesting. You find yourself surrounded by a group of about 6 shivers, and they are just, like I said, cutting up and just talking shit and talking smack. And they seem to just they ask you a bunch of questions about, well, where the fuck did you get that thing?
Question: do I recognize? Highly doubt it. Recognize any of them from my last deployment?
Um, hmm. Give me
Again,
I'm gonna roll a d10. 8, 9, 10. Nope, none of these guys.
okay, okay, okay.
But it does seem like a fairly good group of guys. And they're like I said, they're not really talking about business. They're just talking about talking shit to each other.
Talking shop, talking shop.
Yeah.
To each
Well,
other or him?
Well, to him, around him. If he
I'm
wants to,
s- I'm
if he wants to cut up with them, that's
yeah,
his business.
yeah. I mean, they're not, throwing sticks and stones and shit at me. So hell yeah, Will. This is a
Well,
nice change of pace. It's
well, you
yeah.
know,
I'll just be like, yeah, my squad took out a huge group of carrion and they ripped us out of the muck and presented it to me. I'm their heavy gunner, so they thought it'd be a pretty cool gift. And I'm just trying to get it all polished up and in working order.
they 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 passed you another beer and said, "Drink it down. Let's do it." And good, kind of cheers you for murdering a bunch of carrion out there on Fothergill Lane.
Yum yum, Dave beer.
Yeah, Dave Beer is disgusting, by the way. Unless you say your character likes Dave Beer, like most operatives can afford really good stuff, and like this would be like the natural light, the Southpaw, the grossest of gross beers that you could,
Wait,
you could go buy.
I still
Kind
have
of
one. I
the kind
still
of
have a.
stuff one who makes drinks would get offended by.
I
Yeah,
still
pretty
have a
much.
bottle of whiskey on me. I'm gonna tell them to go grab a couple shot glasses and take a shot with it. Just to warm
Uh,
their spirits.
I have a
Um,
question.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is considered a quote unquote safe place, right?
Kind of.
Okay, so could I spend my experience upright my ranks here?
No.
No? Okay.
We
I
can't do it.
tried.
We made an agreement to not upgrade anything until we leave Cannibal Sector. We're stuck as we are.
Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
you got to get
You,
to downtime for that stuff.
you,
With that being
you,
said,
you,
I appreciate you asking.
you shot your shot and you missed.
Oh. But what
You
if
rolled
I
a
take
one.
a knife and I stab you?
So, all right. At this point, Diamond, I do want you to make a persuade roll. I want to see how well they take you. The difficulty is going to be a 7.
13.
Oh shit! What does persuade use again?
Charisma.
Probably charisma.
Charisma.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Do you have persuade?
No.
No. The only thing I have is bribery. I've got
So,
bribery. I'm offering whiskey.
seven goes to 10. Yeah, you are offering whiskey. So now you're at a 10 on a persuade check.
Okay. No.
Did
It's
you
just a fail.
botch? Did you botch?
No. Define botch.
No failures on any dice, or no passes on any dice.
Huh.
You,
No.
did you botch?
There's a
I I take the silence as a yes.
there's no passes. Hey,
Nope. We're
what
gonna
if I
roll
was
it.
to all right.
What if he
So
was the really sweet talking?
so like the
You
whole
can spend luck.
conversation has gone really well, and so you bring out this, what was it, a fine bottle of whiskey that to share with your good
I
friends
would
now,
I
huh?
wouldn't say it was a I wouldn't say it was a fine bottle. It was
It's a
just
good
a
bottle.
bottle.
It was a
I mean,
bottle you could afford. Um,
oof.
so you've brought you know a, a liqueur to the table, a liquor, and you set down some cups, and like all of them just kind of just lose the smiles, and they're like, what gives, man? I mean,
It's just-
I thought we were chopping it up here, man. Nah, nah, never mind. Fuck it. We ain't doing this. They pick up all their glasses and leave you on the table by yourself.
Oh,
All right.
You're not really sure what just happened.
Can I walk over and sit in the table?
I mean,
No,
he's
it's
the
like,
only
hey,
one that's there now. Sure.
well, hey,
And like I see them all
it's
walk by. Let's go over,
Yeah,
sit down.
they look at you being an operative, being a malice. They give you some latitude, but they don't greet you as you pass.
So I sit
They
down.
look kind of miffed, man.
Just look at it. Like go over, put my hand
It's
on
like
your
you
shoulder.
just
Go. Are you all right?
it's like you just shit the bed, man.
Like, are you all right? And I just
like,
pat you in the back.
oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just gonna go back to cleaning my gun. Fuck it. There's nothing I'm not used to.
Hmm. What are you building there? Cleaning.
Oh, just repairing a shiny new toy.
It is a massive Finn 808 Power Reaper. It is a vehicle mounted gun, and it'll look a little awkward for him to be carrying it, but it is possible for him to carry it and fire it. Um, it's just what you would consider more of a Stormer sized weapon, Vortex. I mean, Riot.
All right
Okay.
then. I point to the liquor. Want to keep that?
Want to keep it?
What do you say?
I think he's mumbling.
Keep it.
He's drunk.
What do you mean
Oh.
keep it?
Yeah, you want to keep it because like if you don't take it, somebody else will. You know.
Do you mean them? And I'm gonna motion at the shivers around.
Beggars can't be choosers.
I mean, they could try, but they might miss a finger or two. I'm just gonna clack jaws.
Just thought I'd give you a warning on it.
Appreciate it.
I got tense really quick, didn't it?
Anyways, I saw you brought some friends in. They don't look too good. Want to tell the story about that?
Oh yeah, I just happened across them on the road and offered to help them get back this way. One of them was tore up pretty bad. Not sure exactly what happened to them, but missing a couple things. You know, shit happens in the cannibal sector.
That sucks.
I'm just gonna look off in the distance. Shit happens.
Am
It's been a
am
pretty pleasant trip in the
am I
cannibal
allowed
sector
to
this
talk
time.
about VPNs to anybody, or is that something you should keep under wraps?
The details of a platinum VPN should definitely be kept under wraps.
Can I say that we're working on a platinum, or no?
You could brag.
You brag. Okay. So I assume you're here for the same job.
Okay, so out of character, I have witnessed firsthand someone bragging about a Jade VPN in public and
Hey, let's
being
keep it in
black
character. Let's
bagged.
keep it in character.
Okay, in character. I'm, I'm just gonna kind of stop polishing the gun and then stop polishing the gun and then kind of look up and look at him, not like rudely, not just look up, like I'm just gonna go ahead and I don't. Okay, so wait, is his badge on display? Can I see his badge?
Yeah. What's your SCL rating, Mr. Riot?
I'm a greenhorn.
Okay,
SAL 10.
Green as
okay.
grass.
Yep.
I'm just gonna. Like, I'm not sure what your experience is, as far as what you've experienced combat wise, what you've experienced in the field, but just a friendly heads up. I would not discuss anything that you would deem too sensitive. I have firsthand. Oh my god, my tongue. I have witnessed someone bragging about a Jade VPN be black bagged and drug out in the open. And,
Oh, I'm
that-
sorry. I just don't know how to hold the conversation very well.
It's okay. You're in good
I kind of like
company.
test the tips of my fingers together.
You are in
I'm,
good
I'm
company.
sorry. I didn't mean to get on your toes like that.
You're not bothering me. I'm just trying to save you a headache and a black bag. So, on that note, yes. Are you on you're on a job out here? You said. We'll call it that.
Yeah, I'm on a job.
Okay.
It's just there's a lot of ops here, and you don't really get to talk to anybody out here that is not petrified of your presence.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume that we're on the same job. Where's your squad at?
Somewhere around. What do I know about my squad again?
Well,
Beauty and the Beast, right?
while you're sitting there, your squad leader comes up and puts her hand on your shoulder. She is a gorgeous ebon girl. Her SCL is an 8. And she says, "Now we aren't discussing things we shouldn't be talking about, are we?"
The color of the sky.
That's okay. Anyways, she looks at you, and you can tell she's contemplating what she's going to say to the carrion with the Power Reaper, but she says, "So I take it you're on a mission as well."
Yes, ma'am. Part of Squad Deathaxe, and I can only assume we may be on a similar mission.
She sticks out a hand to shake it in a very what I would say antiquated way.
I will return the gesture. Probably not as graceful, but return the gesture nonetheless.
She says, "My name's Malaise."
Nice to meet you. I'm Sputnik.
My name's Riot.
Wait a minute. Malay, that name sounds familiar.
Oh, wait, wrong time of doing it. Sorry.
She taps you on the shoulder, Riot, and she says, "Look, I have to go take care of a few more things. Let's not get too gabby with our friends here. But have a
I'm
good time."
sorry.
I'm gonna tell her like, you got a nice kid here.
I'm not a kid.
He's going to go places. And she taps him on the shoulder again and walks away. And she gives you Riot. She gives you a knowing, don't say too much glance. But play as you will.
It's like,
All right, but I'm gonna flash back to Krieg really quick. Krieg, you said you were going to the
See,
command tent, correct?
see.
Okay, I hadn't forgot about you. Um, let me see. Well,
Yes, you did. Don't let him lie.
I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna use just a generic roll. Give me a streetwise to see how long it takes you to navigate yourself into the command tent.
Add another one to the count.
And is it just
Pass with
you?
a degree.
I'll say it's a
Me
7.
right now, unless anyone's with me. Oh, then pass with 2 degrees. I don't know if anyone else is with me. I'm by myself now, though, as far as I know.
Okay, I will say you managed to navigate yourself through a number of of officiates at the camp. Since I need just a word to stand in for various ranks that I don't understand because I'm not in the military. Um, but you managed to bounce between a couple of officiates. It seems like they're busy in the middle of planning their defense. Um, and they seem to be ordering guns from one area to another, depending on what sounds like scout reports. But anyways, they do manage to direct you towards the main command tent. Um, there we go. And yeah, you do find there is a building, a reinforced building here near the center of the camp. Next to a couple of the other larger buildings. And it's not a tent; it's a hard sided building, and somebody stops you on your way in. Says, "Can I help you?" It's a looks like maybe a lieutenant, maybe some kind of MP or something.
I'm gonna just kind of look at him and say, Squad Deathaxe is stand-in commander for this team for tonight. I need to speak with what they need us to start planning for, getting ready for next. We were told to come here.
He pulls out a list, and he writes a couple things down. He says, "Command's expecting you. There's going to be a meeting in about 30 minutes." He says,
Hmm.
"We'll come get you."
Right. She's just gonna give a nod and turn and fuck off then.
Okay.
No hassle.
Okay. You can
Well, this
still.
I do wanna ask. From what point would that be from when they finish their thing?
I would say we're in sync on time. It took you a little while to navigate the 300 something people, and tents upon tents upon tents of just various logistics and supplies, and all these random people, since they didn't really talk very long. But you guys feel free to talk amongst yourselves, do anything you need to. If y'all need to stock up, buy anything, haggle for things, steal things, gamble, anything you want to do, feel free.
Can I buy more grenades here?
Um, it's you could probably go haggle with somebody or bribe somebody. I doubt that they could actually sell you any.
So loan, just give.
You could steal. Steal's a
Well,
thing.
I mean, yeah, I don't have steel though. I do have. Fuck. Do I have bribery?
question.
Oh shit, I don't. I guess would persuasion work?
You might have to work with some member of your squad. Not precisely, no.
Okay.
Brandon, question. If he's
Yep.
looking for someone with grenades, I could be somebody he could go to for grenades. So I
Well,
have 23 of them.
Jesus Christ. I mean,
Yeah. I am
that's
wearing grenades
that
on my
surprises
body.
me. Okay.
I mean, 3 grenades count as weight of 1, so
hmm
Yeah,
Oh,
he's,
really?
also,
he's a storm.
yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
from what I understood when I was getting the grenades, it says anything beyond 3 is a weight of 1.
Oh, it says the 2 to 3 grenades act as 1 weight is how I read it. Anyway, actually,
Oh.
I have to dip too. So
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay. All right.
yeah. So sorry to cut this short. I was going to say pause, but no, it's going to be good. I'll see you guys later. Sorry to leave, but
Oh,
yeah.
you're good. This is gonna be a short game. We're just gonna do some RP tonight. Don't want to dive too
I'm
deep in.
assuming I can spend half of what an AP clip costs for me to replenish my half of a clip I spent in combat so far.
So,
Just buy the bullets individually.
I'll leave. See you guys.
Later on, man.
right.
I'll say
Right.
if you can roll like a haggle or bribery just at a 7, just to see if you can manage
I'll
to
do a bribery.
I'll
Pass with 2 degrees.
Okay. I'll just say that you end up making your way through the camp, and there's like you basically can end up trading for goods, trading goods for goods, and they'll allow you to make those trades for whatever cost you were going to spend, for the amount that you were going to spend in credits.
I have a question, by the way.
Hmm.
So regarding the encumbrance for grenades, if it's are we running with beyond 3? It will always be a weight of 1, or every 3 grenades the weight
I'm
of
going to
1.
say every 5 grenades will be 1,
Every 5. Got it.
which you got plenty of weight for that. That's fine.
Oh yeah, I mean, calculate that real fast.
So I want to go on the comm and gather the team together and fill them on what's going down.
Okay.
Well, I ignore that because I want to try to find the that other Eben.
All right. Drew, you do end up seeing several other Ebons in camp, matter of fact. But I will say that before you end up talking to any of the other ones, um, that Eben finds you, or at least
Oh,
walks across your path. Um, and from my description earlier, she's in like an SCL 8. Um, she's nice looking. I would say that she's got the trait for good looking. Uh, she's a smoker, and
mhm.
she just seems to come across. She's definitely not a brain waster. Like she's one of the good Evans.
All right, the pure breed.
Hmm. Yeah, not one of the faulty, malfunctioning ones.
Is he like when you say come across me, approaching to speak with me, or
Well,
like just crossing my path?
you're not really sure whether she did it intentionally or not. That she just walked across your path and she kind of catches your eye, and she says something. She says, "Oh hi, I think I've met some of your squad members, maybe. Deathaxe?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, so when'd you guys get in?
I assume it's probably been about an hour.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe hour, maybe 2. But and she says, I suppose. Well, I guess we can't talk about it.
Well, do you care to explain?
Talk about
What?
Ryder and his chuckling.
Drew's looking for his model because he flipped mine over.
Oh,
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Shut up.
I know you're looking for it because it's the first thing you started doing.
Anyway, I go. Yeah, we probably shouldn't discuss specifics out in the open. But would I be wrong in this? Let me ask this:
she
Are you
smiles and she says, "Well, the last
acquainted?
time my squad was out here, we were doing something for one of the higher ups.
Oh, same.
I'm betting your squad was doing the same, considering every squad that's out here is an Eben squad."
Yeah,
She
we
goes
were.
through and she says the Casual Fridays, Sleigh Ride, Delta Crush Force, Deathaxe, and Beauty and the Beasts. Every one of us.
Oh, well, that confirms my suspicions and terrifies me.
She said, "Yeah, I think I can guess while we're here."
If I may, were you also contacted by what was his name? I forget.
Catharsis.
Catharsis. Were you also contacted by how did he refer to himself last time? Like cousin or something like that.
The girl
Yeah,
on fire.
yeah, probably cousin or uncle or something.
Yeah. Were you also contacted by a cousin before coming out here?
She says, "Well, look, I'm not one to beat around the bush. Um, the last time I was out here, um, we did end up seeing some of the three-eyed guys."
Ah, okay.
She says, "What about
Ah,
you?"
same.
Uh,
Sorry, you were being a bit cagey. I didn't know if you wanted to
No,
openly talk about
no, we're just
that.
at the bridgehead. Um, and she does look around and make sure none of your other possibly chipped squad mates are around.
Yeah.
um,
I mean,
No. Yeah, we definitely encountered some of the them and their
we found
masters.
out we found out they're abducting people.
I think we
Does that
came
make
to
s-
a
is that something similar?
yes, using those collars.
No, they were they were she looks around again. So they were folding into the city and grabbing people off the streets.
Oh, no, that's new to us.
And
We just
apparently,
had
it's
to
pretty
take care
common.
of a nest.
And she says, "I've seen them."
Are they targeting Ebons or just anyone?
Oh no, they're targeting a lot of Evans actually. So it's I wouldn't be surprised if you know a few people that may have gone missing.
Wait,
She names off a few names that you probably don't know. They sound like Evan names.
at that statement, Animus visibly becomes distressed. Wait a minute. Yes, actually. Have you found any of them that were missing?
No.
Like, he gets a little bit insistent and almost like
Well,
steps in a little bit.
we we
Do you know what they were
we
doing with
went
them?
we went for one. We didn't find them alive, but we did get the guys that got them.
Who is the one?
Uh, I I, I don't have the name. This is me out of character.
Oh, I
Uh,
mean, like, uh,
it's nobody you recognize.
Animus.
Let's just say.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say Animus clarifies it wasn't a kid, was it?
No, no, it was an
Oh,
adult.
good.
But but yeah, apparently it's. She looks around again, kind of a little spooked. She says it's become very common.
Hopefully, we can put a stop to it. I do know someone who, very close to me, who went missing fairly recently.
She offers you a cigarette, and she says, "I'm sorry to hear that.
I take it.
Got to get those cancer sticks. Everybody's got
Yep.
cancer sticks."
gonna buy some death sticks.
Oh, cancer.
You
If the
don't want
world's
to
not going
sell
to
me
kill us,
death
might as well give
sticks.
it a help with cancer.
She kind of like gently grabs you by the arm and says, "Walk with me."
I follow.
She she walks to a kind of a quiet spot where there's not as many shivers, and she says, "Look, I'm gonna be a little frank with you, and you could say something or not." She said, when we uh, when we found all the ash, and she said they were with this creature. I'm sure you've heard of them at this point. Um,
Yes, then
and
look
she
around and
and
quietly say,
and
Mamek.
she the way she describes it, it doesn't sound like the kind you thought.
Sounds
It's
like a
it's
Mamek,
much.
but different.
She's talking about one that's much smaller. It was just different.
Hmm.
Um, she says she says I mean you could hardly even use ebb around the damn thing.
That's similar to ours, at least.
She says but apparently there's a lot of them.
I
I think that's got something to do with why we're here.
I figured as much. Yeah, I describe our situation in our momic that we fought.
Hmm.
There was this fucking fire.
She just really tenses up when you say that. And when you killed it, did you pick it up?
Yes. Well, pick up is a bad way of saying it.
She
It
she cups her hands really close to your face, moving very close to you, and you can see there's a small white flame in her hands.
oh, interesting.
She says, "Do you have one too?"
No, not currently. The we had another Eben join our party after that, and after a near death collision or incident, it switched over to him.
Since you had three Evans in your party at some point.
Yes.
So, anyways, she kind of puts it away and continues to look around warily, and she says, "Well, hopefully we'll get to the heart of it pretty soon."
Hopefully.
But
Not looking forward to that, however.
uh, well, if we've all been called together, hopefully we all get deployed in similar areas, and she gives you their squad's channel just in case.
I take it. I do ask if you're, and maybe you're better with these situations than I am, but did you come prepared? I hold up a bottle of Mind Numb.
She uh I would say that no, she didn't bring one. She said I really didn't think about doing that.
I pass her the one I hold up.
Okay. She said, "Are you sure?"
Oh, absolutely. I click open my power fist to reveal like a shit ton of vials in there.
All the drugs.
Right. I always come prepared.
She says, "I owe you one."
What? What are you buying?
What are
Um,
you buying?
I'm trying to see. Let's see. She says, "I didn't honestly think my squad would need something like that, but it might be something useful for me." Um, she starts pointing out her squad to you. Let's see. Trying to remember who these guys are. Uh,
I got two
oh,
of
there
them
you
right
go.
here next
She
to you,
points
buddy.
out she points out a carrion. She says that's our medic. She points out the Malice played by Vortex Riot, and then she
Hmm.
points at another pair of Xenos. She's literally in short of the carrion. It's a large Stormer squad.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
Clever.
She says I thought it fit.
So when she points out the medic, I kind of linger over it and
A
sort of
carrion
keep my
medic.
eyes on it. Yeah, like
She does a good
that's
job.
odd.
So,
I'm gonna go talk to them at some point.
but yeah, no. Thank you for that. And I don't want to say too much more. Honestly, I don't think there's too much more to say. Um, but
Don't die,
yeah, don't die, and
or
keep
worse.
keep your guard up. Those fucking things are out there. So about that time,
Oh
y'all
no.
part ways, and anybody else? Anybody else want to do anything?
We would like to have done the ye old gave Animus a few seconds to come up to the meeting before Creed just shakes her head, turns to Slurps, and Sputnik and starts telling them what they need to know.
About that time, you guys can hear from one of the towers around the bridgehead. You just hear thunk, 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 as someone opens up with a power reaper.
Fun.
um, and you can see like certain members of the camp seem to shift a lot of guns that way, and um, you hear something about they're moving in, they're moving in on the southeast side, and you hear comms and people start just getting up from tables and everybody starts running to the wall, and there's a couple guys and you see a couple shivers pull out mortar tubes, and
Ooh.
yeah, I mean they're pretty well packing for what's out there. But and then you hear not too much later the Power Reaper stops. I mean it doesn't go for very long. Um, and within about a minute or two, like everything quiets back down.
Hmm.
What do you two think then? Gonna look at Slurps first for him to speak.
Think about what exactly?
What just occurred?
Think they need
Guns.
help?
Guns?
Think they need any help?
Uh,
You asking me?
Well, it looks like everything's calmed down now. No more gunshots. So
Question: can we see the person on the gun?
Yeah, he's about 20 feet up. He's definitely at least 6 to 8 feet taller than the wall because he's in a
What's he doing,
constructed
by
tower.
chance?
Well, there's three guys. There's
shooting
three guys up there. It looks like there's three shivers manning the gun. They've got even though it's a tower, they've got sandbags around the guy. And basically, there's one guy hauling another box of ammunition up there, and then there's one guy holding the belt, and then there's one guy on the Power Reaper, and then there's a guy with some binoculars doing spotting.
Yeah, so they have ammo, but they're choosing not to shoot.
Yeah, yeah, no, they got plenty of
Okay,
ammo.
got
They're
it.
just it doesn't seem like they have a good target at the moment.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like a gun jam or something. That's why it was quiet.
Yeah, yeah, good thinking. It's it apparently someone stuck their toe in the water.
Someone fucked around and found out.
Fuck around and
Hey, what's
find
in the
out.
water?
apparently,
the little
apparently, Power
toesies.
Reaper, Power Reaper rounds is in the water.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay, figure of speech, not literal. It's like, wait, is something in the water?
um,
We are in a foot of water, basically.
Yeah, true.
it does
100 foot's
seem
a
like
bitch.
there's but it just goes to remind you that like uh, the bridgehead is seemingly in a bind at the moment. And
Can I run a perimeter check on the other potential entry points?
there's only one. There's one way in.
21? Okay, got it.
So
Wasn't sure if we had to worry about like maybe them climbing up from somewhere.
no, it's the while maybe one of the shivers that's standing next to you is watching you and just interprets your face. He says, "No, they don't go over the fence. They usually go through it
Why?
because they can."
Do we have someone watching the fence?
I mean, you look at the fence and there's people all over it. There's people behind it. There's even
Okay.
technicians walking around on the inside on both the inner fence and the outer fence, and they're checking on it and making sure it's in decent condition. You can see spots where it looks like the fence has been reconstructed or rebuilt several times. It's not exactly made out of paper or tinfoil, but it is a hastily constructed, not hastily constructed. I'd say it's a portable defense. It's not permanent.
Okay. Good to know.
Bridgeheads are semi-portable. So, um, anything
Well, when
else?
Animus finally decides to join us at our meeting towards the end, she's gonna kind of give him a glare and say, "What took you so long?
Being useful, gathering information.
Is that what you call it?"
Yes, I know it's a foreign concept to you.
Well, I have you know that we actually will be attending a little meeting, and I would have liked all of us to be there and be ready for it. Who are you
I,
talking to?
I look around and It's a small meeting.
You really are trying to push me today. Who are you
Yeah,
talking
not
to?
hard. Oh, the squad lead of that other squad. Trying to piece together what we may be up against.
And
It's. I look to a Diamond and or Sputnik. It's as I feared. I point out
Shit.
to this group that all the different squads. I assume they're kind of clustered around one another.
Yeah, they've kind of they kind of circle around their own members, and at this point, you guys can kind of see that the squads seem to be funneling into one of the tents. Um, at some point, someone waves you over. If not the other squad leader, it would be some of the various soldiers that are around. They call you and say, "Hey, in a few minutes they're gonna do your meeting in there."
Oh, thanks.
As y'all are chit
I'm
chatting.
gonna start our trek over.
Okay, well, I'm gonna
I
ask
do.
Animus, like, how much intel did you get? Is it gonna be as bad as last time, or?
Well, like I said, I was pointing out the squads, and I point out each and every one of them contains Ebons. And in the case of that one, I indicate to the Beauty and the Beast.
No,
Uh,
Malays.
yeah, Malaise. She has one of the little fires with her.
Oh,
So it's fair to
oh,
assume
I am
everyone here.
connecting dots.
Yep. Her squad has encountered the Momix before.
Ah, Ma mix, love it.
Right.
Great.
So assumingly the rest of them have too.
All right, so we all have shared trauma. Cool.
Can I ask what a momix is?
um,
Nothing good.
so
Little role play between his squad.
since your character is green as grass, I'm gonna say you're not gonna know, but
Okay,
but
got it.
you've heard that whispered a couple times. But I will say the rest of your squad is too busily engaged in other conversations. Uh, but since you have made some friends in that squad, Deathaxe, maybe you should just go ahead and ask them.
True. I'll do it when it's the right time though,
Okay.
because it sounds
So
like a meeting's about to begin.
do
So
y'all go do y'all go flood into the meeting tent?
Yes.
Suppose so.
And as I said earlier, you guys through them introducing themselves, or either you recognize the squads because most of these squads are pretty seasoned, and maybe you've seen them on TV, maybe you've heard of them before. You guys get to see each in turn. You've got Delta Crush Force. I'm sorry, yeah, and then there's Super Team Squad. I forgot to mention them, and then Beauty and the Beasts. And then there's Sleigh Ride, and there's Casual Fridays.
So,
All right.
would any of these, like, for a person who wouldn't normally know, could I use I guess, an academics from what I learned in basically training to be an operative about any of these guys to
Yeah,
kind of get a
give,
grasp on how bad we're going?
give me an academics test. I'll say since it's gonna be kind of pointed information. We'll say it's just at a 10.
All right. That's with knowledge, isn't it?
I think so. Yes.
I pass, but no degrees.
Uh, well, I'll throw around that, but just your general knowledge of those squads. I'll tell you that not there's not a lot of green operatives in any of those squads except for maybe that Malice Riot, and maybe one or two others. Almost all these other ops are well known. They're very seasoned. They're well equipped, and they're professionals, just like you guys.
Most of us, because Krieg is still technically a green. She's 10.1, but
Well, I will say notably, and you would say, well, Squad Deathaxe has periodically had some very professional operatives in its midst at points of its career, but due to heavy shifting of operatives in and out, either through the actions of station analysis or due to squad members just wanting to go freelance every now and then. It's been pretty wild. Deathaxe changes a lot,
Mm.
but notably, Deathaxe is not a squad that has a high death ratio. We should have there should be a station analysis statistic for that as squads that have a high
High
percentage of
turnover, but
fatalities.
not death.
Yeah,
I mean,
high turnover that is not death. Yes.
could you make another academics about that from school knowledge? It'd be like, if you get assigned to this squad, you're fucked, kind of.
There was a squad called Blue Screen. They had very high turnover from death.
That doesn't sound fun. F those guys.
I think it was 6 out of 9.
How convenient that I was clicking on my dice and it stopped on a 6.
But
Mhm.
yeah,
I think we've only actually Squad Deathaxe has only actually had one death.
yeah, y'all been pretty lucky.
It was Brenna's investigation character. Or, oh my god, investigator. It was
Yeah,
the Neocon.
technically Jonathan's first character too.
Oh yeah, he did kind of go MIA, didn't he? Like bad MIA, like
Yeah. So
KIA, essentially, almost.
I don't
Whoops.
remember honestly.
God, what was his name again? It was a Stormer
Oh yeah, the guy who ate
who
Magpie.
carried and carried. No,
Wait, no,
that
that was a Zebin.
that was the Zebin and Ebbeast. No, it was the Stormer that carried an obscene amount of knives.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to go back and do some research and figure out if I can remember the name. But you guys are in here, I guess, milling about with the other squads, and if y'all have anything else you want to talk amongst yourselves about, or if a couple of the other squad members of other squads, reach out and say hi to you guys, but apparently, not too deep in the info here. Um, and about that time, a guy you recognize comes in with a couple of aides. Um, his name's hold on, let me Captain Garrett Vanderhook. Um, he's been the Bridgehead commander. You guys have known for at least a year since he was here the first time y'all were here. And he says he kind of looks around. He seems to be taking note and counting that each squad is here. He says, "Well, at least we're not missing any." He says, "Some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm captain of this bridgehead, Captain Vanderhook, or Garrett Vanderhook." He says, "I have some unfortunate news." He says, I know your squads were called here to speak with or to get further mission details from Catharsis. Unfortunately, he's told me that he's been delayed in the field and he's not able to get here at this moment. In which case, I have some orders to relay to you. He says, but with things as they are, he says we may need to wait till morning until we can dispatch your squads where you're supposed to go. He says he looks around. He says, hold on one second. Um, he says, and just he said, sorry, I'm trying to get this right. He says. He says it was also made known to me that I wasn't to give your orders out until I had to. So at least for the time being, get yourselves some rest. Uh, I know a couple of you had a hard time getting here. He says stock up on weapons and equipment. If you need to refill any of your ammunition, just we'll uh, we'll have it. God, what do they call it? So it's just I'll have
Quartermaster
I'll have the quartermaster note it down or take inventory with you.
requisitions, right?
Requisition. Yeah, there you go.
There
Requisition.
we go.
Sorry.
Ah, oh,
Words.
dude, I couldn't think of either. It's,
Um he says but I would say if you can, try and get some sleep. You're gonna need it.
Snap a salute.
No. Smile. Krieg will also salute.
So he returns salutes from various people in the building, and one of the squads, the Casual Fridays guys, a couple of them get kind of loud and rambunctious. What do you mean? We came all the way out here. You're not gonna tell us shit? And
Krieg's gonna
he
turn her head and
he
yell out.
shoots.
Krieg's gonna turn her head and yell out. He just told us why he couldn't do it, dipshit.
Um, he the captain he turns around and leaves, and one of the members of Casual, one of the I think it's a Wraith Raider. He looks at you, obviously irritated with your interruption.
But
But
she doesn't show any sign that it bothered her at all.
but regardless, after the captain leaves the tent, you guys kind of can break in and relax however you want to. Unfortunately, much like the real military, there's a lot of waiting.
Hurry up and
Big
wait.
sad.
Question. Can I go over and find a nice resting spot? I'm gonna look for a place where I can get some food.
There's absolutely plenty of bunks for you to crash out on.
All right,
Drew,
cool.
Your character hasn't slept in 36 hours at this point, I think.
I'm gonna keep an
About
eye on the one that spoke out with the party here
Hmm.
because if he spoke
Krieg.
out against everyone who was angry, I'm just gonna make sure he doesn't get a little bump in the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I will say you find out pretty quickly the guy's name is Lightning Deity.
Mhm.
What an egotistical name.
Super egotistical.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna make
That's like
sure
those
this
kids on Xbox.
lightning deity figure doesn't decide to, betray the great cause of Slay. You know?
well, you got to watch out for those fucking Wraith Raiders. They're kind of
Yeah.
volatile.
Mm.
Yeah. So where I'm resting is going to be nearby our friend here. It's going to be on the watch
Okay.
because
Krieg's
I
gonna
want to
do
make
the
sure
ye
everyone works
old.
together. Yeah.
Krieg's gonna do the ye old rest with one eye open, aka she's gonna have both her eyes closed, and I'm gonna use my hearing too to abuse if this dude tries to come up on me.
Hmm. I will say, things break and go kind of quiet for what I would say is at least 2 or 3 hours. You guys have a moment to relax. Drew, maybe you even find yourself nodding off a little bit, just because, like I said, y'all have
I
been
mean,
slogging it out.
almost definitely.
Yeah. Um, and about that time, Drew, you start having a fairly nightmarish dream. Um, you have this feeling that somebody's hollering for you, and it's like you're running down a hallway, and an underground hallway, and there's roots all in the ceiling, and you just, no matter how fast you run, you find yourself like getting further and further back. Um, it's one of those pretty typical nightmarish dreams like that. And about that time, you hear, "Get up, get up!" And you can see that the captain's back in there with some soldiers. A couple hours has passed, and he says, "You have to go now." And
Look,
all the other squads start rousing up. A bunch of them have dozed off. Um, some of the attendants with the captain start kicking the bunks to get people to wake up. And there's no time left. He says, we're having to change plans. He said he says, "Come here," and he kind of goes over to a table without looking at any of you, and he lays out what appears to be a map.
Get up and follow.
Yep.
Um,
yep.
pretty
Is
quick,
my
pretty quickly the table starts filling in, and anybody who's late to the table does not get a good view.
do I
Um,
see my squad lead by chance?
oh yeah, she is hopped up. She's one of the first people jumping in there, and she actually kind of taps you on the shoulder so you can let her in to get a little closer, since she's She's
I
y'all's
actually,
bureaucrat.
I'll pick her up and put her on my shoulders so she can look over everyone.
She'll do it.
Yeah.
But one of y'all is elbow to elbow with lightning deity. Smells like a wet cat out from the rain. Um, but anyways, he lays out a table and lays out a map. He says, "We have exactly 0 time." He says the carrion have
Actually,
surrounded the bridgehead and they're coming in right now. Um,
question. Actually, can I look for any of the other commanders first?
there's a
And
whole bunch of minor people in here. Yeah.
yeah, I want to see who's commanding squad leaders. Like the highest ranking, and I want to make room for them. Like push people out of the way and let them
Yeah.
in first.
Yeah.
Because if anyone's going to be leading people, it's going to be them.
Excellent.
So I make sure they get in first so they can have the best eyesight.
I acknowledge that you're doing something commendable. Because all the ops want to be in here, and nobody wants to miss out because it's going to be
Last thing we want is
a big payday.
pandemonium. No.
But everybody's
Okay.
pretty professional in here, I
Okay.
guess.
Well, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Um, I know you're about to lay out information. I was wondering if tactics would help here.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can roll tactics.
Yeah.
Yippee!
Give me a 10.
Can I
That's
also
not a
roll
roll.
tactics?
Pass
Yes.
with 2 degrees.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
a 2 degrees maniac tonight.
Also pass it too.
Oh, can I steal somebody's dice real fast?
Uh, no, you're gonna have these yellow and green ones over here.
Oh, where? Where? Yeah. Thank you.
Mr. Slurps, do you want to make one?
Make a what?
Tactics check.
Sure, go ahead.
Do you have any tactics?
I don't.
It's probably not a good idea.
Alright.
Then.
F it. What's
Okay.
your knowledge? What's your knowledge actually? Isn't
Hold
it
on.
knowledge for tactics?
Uh,
It's a concentration.
Concentration? What's
I
that?
I have a
Con-
2. I have a 2 concentration.
All right. Well, he doesn't pass because it bumps up to a 13.
Correct.
And he botched.
All right. I got a 9 with 3 successes then.
Nice. Okay, you can tell that the map that the captain has laid out is a map of the bridgehead, but you can see there's a whole bunch of different things marked on it. Specifically, it doesn't. This isn't like a battle map for you to find out how to fight from the bridgehead. You can actually see that he's actually drawn a line from the center of the bridgehead, and it seems to turn at some pretty straight angles. He says, "What we have is there's a." And he's not speaking particularly. He says there's an escape route under the bridgehead into the old sewer system. He says that's the only way you guys are going to be getting out of here, and you have to go now. He says I want you to memorize this route. He says nobody's used the access tunnel in at least 6 months. He says, but and I think you should be able to get through. Last time there were a couple little difficulties, but I'm sure your squad should be able to figure it out. He says, stay on the route, don't vary. You could get lost in a dozen sublevels of Mort City if you end up going the wrong way. Follow the directions. He says,
Uh, could I take my riot shield out and quickly sketch out the layouts of where we need to go on the inside of it?
yes, yes you can.
And if I
And
can't draw,
did
then
you
I'll
make
use
the
my
three
blade.
tactics?
Yeah. Yeah, I did the 3 success
Yeah,
tactics.
then absolutely you can make a pretty pristine copy. Basically, what it's showing is there's a way. Apparently, they have a pretty straight course that takes you a couple miles outside of the bridgehead, which is pretty extraordinary, honestly. But it's through a sewer tunnel under Cannibal Sector 1, which seems sketchy as fuck. There's a lot of turns on the map, and for the fact that you made three degrees of success, I would say that gives me hope that you'll actually make it through.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank
we
God
also
I have
have two
anxiety
tractors.
3.
And he literally grabs one of you and says, "Go follow them." And one of his attendants, one of the officers, uh, pick, picks up the map off the table and starts waving people and going.
I'll
Crazy
take
on
up a.
Powderhead.
I'm gonna ask Beauty, our Our
He
squad
said
leader
he
take
says
the
he
middle
says
spot.
you have to get to Chap's platform before morning.
I'm asking my
Oh,
squad lead if we can take the
Caps.
middle position, so that way if people start lagging behind and not knowing which way they're going, we can help them. Because the more guns we have at our end destination, the better.
He says Catharsis will meet you there.
All right, the chaps we go.
Let's go.
So
So
question,
how
and this
many of
is
us are moving, by the way? Like, how much of us?
I mean, I would assume it's just a herd of operatives at this point, and so the one of the attendant brings you guys over to what looks like a bunk tent, but it doesn't seem like there's anybody in that bunk tent, and he pushes like he gets one of the stormers. I'm gonna say he gets Riot to do it. He says, "Pull this out of the way," and it's this just big bunk bed. He says, "Just pull this out of the way."
All
And
right, and I pick it up and
yeah,
just
you just drag it, throw it, whatever.
yeah. I'll throw it. We have tents, right?
Yeah,
We're in. I throw it out the tent's wall.
but
Oops, too much force.
underneath the bunk bed, he pulls up a piece of flooring, and underneath it, you guys can see what looks like an old sewer hatch. Um, and he takes a crowbar and he just says, "No, one of you guys can get this. It's easier for you." And he tries to help, but it's a heavy sewer lid, and I will say just some of the other squads help him pull it out.
I'll pick it up for him then. He's having trouble
Oh
with
wait,
it.
I'm sorry, and it would have been locked, so he has to unlock it with a
Oh,
couple different keys. Um,
I was
and
about
if
to
you
uh,
say,
allow me, I'll lift it up.
and all you hear when he pulls the sewer cap off is the sound of running water.
I make a survival check.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one.
okay. I'm gonna do the same.
Target number doesn't matter. Pass with 3 degrees. Two
I'll say
degrees.
10. I'm all about the tens tonight.
Oh
Pass
baby.
with two
Okay.
degrees. Then
Pass with
is it vision based?
two. Pass with
No,
two.
Well, technically it'd be hearing based.
yeah, yeah, you can do hearing.
So pass with 4 degrees.
Okay. Well, for me, it's only pass with two. Shit. Okay. Good.
Um, I would say what you hear, it sounds like kind of like rapids. It's definitely fast flowing water with enough force to carry people away. Um, but he says the attendant guy says he just kind of like puts his arm out and says you're gonna go that way. He says just follow the map, you'll be okay. It wasn't flooded last time. Last time somebody went down there, so just make sure you're going the right way.
And the running water,
He says it's raining, man. That's what it is.
it's gonna
Uh,
carry us away.
I put my hand up in there to get their attention.
Yeah.
Should we have all the malices go first so that way we can act as a wall if people get carried away?
The attendant guy says be my guest,
All right, I'm good for that.
and you jump
That
in.
means you, Damocles. I'm gonna throw
Yep,
Damocles on you.
I
I know he's
just
not here.
cannonball in.
Okay.
Even
You
though Damocles isn't here, I'm
I
playing
just
him in.
look to my squad captain and be like, "I'll meet you there."
she nods. And I will say like, most after you go in without even checking, a lot of the other guys just start going down the pipe.
I'm prepared to roll in athletics to
Um,
take the water.
I will say when you hit, it's about 4 feet. It's not muck. It's not mud. It's fast flowing water.
Mhm.
You do know that anybody who doesn't have a high strength score could potentially get carried away.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking out for.
You're gonna have to hold your squad leader, or at least hold on to the smaller members of your squad.
I didn't take her off my shoulders yet.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Um,
Basically, the idea I'm planning is that we have all the malices, all the big guys, We
mhm.
stand in the front and we make a line. So that way, if anyone gets swept off their feet, they hit this picket fence of people, basically.
Here's where the problem happens
That's what I'm hoping for, at least.
because when that sewer gets uncapped and a couple of y'all start going, you hear from the back, no, the fuck no, I am not doing this shit. I am not doing this shit. And you look back and you see lightning deity, the Wraith
I want to
Raider,
intimidate this bitch.
and he is freaking out. And he says, I do not, fuck water, fuck this."
Okay, so he's not
Oh,
he's not the leader of his squad, right?
No.
He's not the leader of his squad. Is his squad lead nearby?
Oh yeah, you can see a frother going over to him uh, and getting behind him, not getting in front of him.
Is she
Well,
like pushing him forward, or is she like also saying, are they also saying like no?
Well, about 2 seconds after you start watching what's going on with these guys, you realize the frother grabs the Wraith Raider from behind and just bear hugs him. And another one of the members comes over. It's a Xeno, and he pulls out a Bupa Castus, or I'm sorry, a Castus, and he jabs this guy in the throat with some kind of drugs.
I'm just
fair.
gonna.
I was about
They
to run over
they
there and do the
they
same.
they
Dude,
literally just bear hug this guy and drug him.
I was just gonna
And
grab him
and they
by his
say
shirt and throw him
they
in.
say, a couple of them start saying he's terrified of water, guys. He's just fucking terrified of water.
Ah,
It's
Oh,
this is how we do this.
can I call up the hole? By the way,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like I said,
um,
it is fast flowing water. It's like you're standing in the middle of a river.
I unhook my grappling hook and I shoot up through the hole,
Hmm.
and I say, "Grab onto it. Get a stormer on the other end of it." That way, it's like an anchor hook, you know.
Well,
That
I'm gonna tell you, if you above the hole is the top of a tent. You're gonna hook a tent if you shoot
yeah.
it up through the hole.
No, not like that. I mean, so I
Yeah,
hook it up at the ledge, and then I'm asking another stormer or another high strength person to grab that end. So when
yeah.
I move down the way, you have this long rope that people can hold on to when
Oh,
they
I
go
got
down.
you. I got you.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that would work. You can make kind of a safety
Hopefully
rope,
that'll help you guys out.
So
a safety
can we
cable for people.
make Krieg make a mixture of a
And then
athletics
I
and
apologize to
survival
my
check
captain,
to
by the way.
Is
can
it
Krieg
is
make a mixture of an athletics and a survival check to just go in and start moving through the water?
Do you have a strength 4 or greater?
I have a strength 4 exact.
Okay, with a strength 4, you can push forward in the water. Much like at the con where there was just such a massive
Wasn't there for
uh
that.
oh, okay. I'm sorry. At the con they were in a sewer and there was just such a mass of sludge coming down the sewer. It was slow flowing, but it was heavy. Right now it's just the volume of water at speed. You can manage to push through it. Unfortunately, Drew, you're gonna be like a leaf in the wind when you get down there.
I grab hold of Sputnik before he goes.
Watch how
That's
you
what the rope's
soar.
for.
Just like a baby.
But I apologize to my team lead, by the way, my
Hmm.
captain, because I am asking for people to follow my orders, and I'm like, I'm sorry, by the way.
No, she says, keep it up. You're doing good. She says,
Oh, thank you.
I hadn't even got my feet yet wet yet.
I'm gonna look
By the
back at
way,
her.
I'm not a beast. I'm the beauty.
I'm gonna look back at her. I'm gonna say, yeah, good kid, good kid.
but does anybody not go down? I will say at some point they do kind of hoist the Wraith Raider down. They are careful with him. They just drugged him and took him down there against his will.
But Drew, what did your character just say?
I just
He
grab
latched
hold
onto
of
you.
you before I go on, before you go down.
Okay, yeah, because I was definitely gonna turn and say hop on.
I would say most of the Ebons do not have the strength to withstand the pressure of the water. And
Hop on.
Drew, before you do
That's a
it,
skill issue.
since one of the several of the Ebons have gone down before you, one of them cast illumination or the light spell.
Good.
Uh,
I do have a shoulder-mounted flashlight at the
oh
front.
yeah.
That helps.
Well, y'all have daylight. There's actually two. Two of them have blast one for the light spell. So you guys have like full daylight in this ancient sewer tunnel, and you guys can see, indeed, it is running like a river down here. You can see parts where the wall is completely gone. You can see that there's parts where like literally there's just natural caverns that have opened up into this thing. You can see just a whole bunch of ancient pipework and ductwork, and most of it is just in bits and pieces. Very little of it remains. Um, and as they said, the last time they came down here, there was no water in the tunnel.
Actually, I got a question.
Uh huh.
how much water is flowing from upstream? Is it possible I could set a bomb to capsize it and stem the flow of water?
If you throw a bomb in this ancient tunnel, we'll talk about what happens.
Yeah, because I have demolitions. I'm just curious if I could use that
Ooh,
to help
let
out.
let's not do that.
During the
Yeah.
middle of a flood. Oh, by the way,
Mhm.
the last few people that end up going down the tunnel, you hear something very distinct that's different from the sound of the rushing water. You hear a full-on blazing of Power Reapers. Just they just crank up and they just go.
Oh boy.
Um, apparently they did tell y'all at the last minute that y'all had to go.
Mhm.
Um, all right.
Brave souls.
And literally until they cap the sewer behind you, that's literally all you hear is just the roaring of gunfire. But and when they do, when they cap it off, and you can tell that they're putting everything back over the top of it. Um, so it will be hidden once again.
Uh, real quick, is Kree's gonna turn and look at Sputnik and Drew's character to make sure Drew is in fact not in the water waist deep and is dry.
Well, Sputnik is not a stormer, but he is strong.
Well, I just mean is Drew's character out of the water.
I would
Drew.
say I would say no,
I
unless
would
y'all don't have a stormer for
assume
him to ride
probably
on.
not,
No.
unless he's trying to specifically, you know,
Sputnik is
not.
larger than a human. He's probably much more bulky than a human, I would assume, especially in his armor.
Oh yeah, ADV carriers are.
But he's
Okay, so I
but he's
tell
not
you
the
what.
size of a
Well,
Xeno, and he's not the size of a
well,
mouse.
it's how tall is Sputnik?
Ah, 80.
It matters for a little reaction I want to have her do.
1 second. 1 second.
Because it's only 4 feet, and if he's latched onto him, there's a chance that he is at least above waist level.
Yeah, 1 second.
While you guys are sitting there thinking about this,
Um,
you hear one of the malice stormers and another one of the squads go, "Sloth like chunk," as he seems to be making a joke to some entertainment he may have seen at some point. One of the other squads starts.
I said to ask my squad lead while he's making the joke. I'm asking my squad like, remind me to pour a drink out for the dead.
She says, "Well, hopefully we get all this. We all get out of this alive." But
They won't. No,
I don't think
not
we all will.
upwards. They
Huh?
covered the whole. They cover the hole
Oh,
above us. They know they're going to get breached.
well, they'll do their best.
I think he's
Maybe I
like.
can ask that carry on for his wine. Do it proper.
I think. I think I'm like 7 foot, maybe. I
Yeah,
think I'm like
You'd
I'd
definitely
say you're
clear the water.
probably below 8, but you're between 6 and 7 probably. I mean, like I said,
So then,
FP.
normal carrion are they kind of lean over. They have a stooped posture.
it just depends on really what Drew says. Drew, would you say that you like on his back or his shoulder, or are you like just hugging him?
I mean, even if he was
No,
piggyback
more
on it,
likely. Yeah, more than likely, I'm probably not trying to ride him.
yeah.
So,
You say he's
uh,
slumped over, right? So could you like, if flat enough, you could ride him like a surfboard?
I'm not
Probably
thinking that's
not.
gonna work.
Yeah.
No.
just just
Yeah, that way the
the big
water's lapping
thing
at the
is
sides. You're like, yeah.
it's just the big thing is I want to hear from Drew. Would your character be in the water, basically soaked, or would they be out of the water?
They'd be in the water more than likely.
Okay, then I can finally conclude what I was going to start doing. Once she sees that he's pretty much soaked, she's going to seem a little distressed, but then shake her head and look forward.
One of the uh, one of the Ebons who apparently is behind you, a black-eyed brain waster. Um, he says, "Let's go."
I'm moving. Uh,
and
I'll
he's
move.
one of
I'll
the
move
he's
as soon as I gave the grappling hook back because
yeah.
there's going to be a bit of a lead to make. You know,
You guys find out pretty quickly that he's the leader of squad sleigh ride.
the squad what?
He's the squad leader of one of the squads
Sleigh
called
ride.
sleigh ride.
Oh,
And
sleigh ride.
and you could also see that he has grown about a foot taller uh, because he's manipulating the power of his ebb suit, and apparently he's an enhanced ebon. You guys have seen this
He's
before.
boosting. He's
He's
boosting.
He is boosting, so that he can walk freely of impediment.
My man is boosting. Don't do that too many times.
You know, it costs flux.
Good.
All
All
right.
right. So
Well,
what's next on our agenda of traveling in the sewers?
when we
Okay,
come to an interjection, I will check my shield for instructions.
and I
I will
will.
make a tracking check.
Yeah.
But I also want to tell Beauty, the one on me, to keep an eye out because I don't know if we're going to get into areas where it's a lot more open and there might be land. Last thing we want is enemies to be present and panic to
Can
set
I
in or
make a
something.
tracking check, Mr. Brandon?
All right. First thing I want is a tracking check at we'll do difficulty 10 just to be able to say we're following the map properly.
Am I using my eyes? I want to know because
I'm gonna say
that's the
this is
difference
not
between.
this is not directly an eye related check. No.
I have a
Okay,
tracking
then that
too.
was the difference between a success in 4 degrees and a success in 6.
Okay.
I have a tracking.
I
I
love,
have
Pretty
I
good.
love, I love being a good tracker, and I love having eyes for certain
With
situations of
with
+6.
30 something operatives down here, there's a general consensus of which way to go and which way not to. Um,
I'm
um,
curious,
Um,
is
um,
this tunnel, does it have colored lines that tell us which way we're going?
Absolutely not. Nope. It is
Ho,
Nope.
ancient.
ho,
Okay.
ho.
oh, ho,
Just making sure.
ho!
We're good. Let's pass a 3. On
So we
tracking.
got a 3, a 4, and that's it. I think.
You guys do
Anyone else
come.
rolling?
You guys do come to an intersection, and yes, you do make the three on your. You said three on tracking.
He made. Sputnik made 3. I made 4.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you a couple things. Number one, in the last 10 minutes, the water's raised about 6 inches. Also, y'all are following the map as accurately as y'all can, and you guys come to a really old mold-covered sign, and you can hardly read the words on it. Um,
I'll walk by it so that way my squad lead can scrape the mold off. Take a look see at it.
she uh, she looks at you hesitantly. She says, "That's mold from Cannibal Sector. I'm not sure it's worth it."
Oh, okay. I got the map here, so I yell that down the way, by the way. I have the
Yeah,
map!
but she says, I think curiosity's gonna get the best of me.
Use your knife then, you know?
She pulls some scrap of something out of a bag, and she just starts. She scrubs at the sign a little bit just to see what it says, because it looks like it's like a directional. It's a map with directions, or it's an old sign with some directions on it, and it's got a bunch of arrows on it, and it's got like street names and stuff you don't recognize. Unfortunately, one of the directions is a little disconcerting, and it's the way you're going. It says Salvation Tower.
No.
I take one of my knives, you know, and I kind of slowly push mold back over it and like, we have a mission and best not to let them panic, right?
The the word Salvation Tower is often
I
enough
know it's
to
bad.
give most ops a fear check. Which, by the way, I'm gonna give y'all a fear check.
Yeah, I'm asking my squad we keep this hidden because the last thing we need is panic.
Okay,
Yeah.
Fear check.
I'll say y'all squad at least observes it. I'm gonna say it's DC 10. If you fail it, I'm gonna give you a -1 in your success dice.
I should still roll it.
Exceedingly cool.
You're using your
What kind of
exceedingly
skill
You
cool.
and
do I
your
roll?
insanely cools.
Oh, it's a cool check. Okay.
Cool check is a
Uh,
D10 plus your cool. You're trying to
What'd you
get a
say,
10.
I
Helton?
pass.
I have 3 on my cool, by the way. So do I roll anything else with that?
D10 plus 3.
Okay. No other dice, right?
Correct.
Okay, got it.
It's with a 10.
With a 10.
Oh, I got a 1. +3 is 4.
Oh, you're shitting yourself then.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try and I'm a big boy. I can do this.
Oh yeah, Slurps.
Yes.
Cha. What's your cool?
My cool is hold
Oh wait,
on.
actually, is
My
there
cool is 4.
Okay, then you definitely pass. You got a 7.
a bravado I can use to pass anyways? Or
No.
is
No.
a -1 not that bad?
It's just a -1 of your success dice.
Okay, so like 1 less. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
That being said,
I know this stuff is gold, so I don't know if that's a worthy use of it.
that being
It
said,
seems like it's tradition for the new people to fail their fear test.
Oh yeah, sounds about right though.
one of I also need a number of you to make a detect check. DC is 13.
Eyesight or hearing?
Hearing,
Good.
Alright,
Pass
what
with
check
3
is that?
degrees.
detect.
Detect.
Pass
I
with 3 degrees.
do not have that actually.
Pass with 2.
Damn, you get okay. I'm gonna say y'all's squad is generally not in the front at this point, just because there was a number of other people that came down, early in. I will say Riot was one of the first people, but I guess maybe you're hanging back so we can have some discussions.
Pass with 2.
I can't hang back. I'm literally the front of the line. I have the grappling hook end.
One of you,
F it. I got 2 Lux left, and I just want to be silly tonight.
what's going on?
Pass with 4 degrees. I
4
lucked one of
degrees.
my fails
All
because
right.
I want to be silly, so I'm down to 1 luck left tonight.
No, I get it. Dawson, you got story changing success.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right. I have luck. Can I roll that?
If you want to use your luck for this,
Alright, for the fear check.
you could.
Too late. Alright, I gotta do that then.
Did anybody fail the
Well,
fear
that's-
check?
Just him.
Okay.
That's 8 + 3.
Okay. You made
That's
it that
fast.
time.
Okay, got it. Yeah,
Um,
so like
We're
might as
not
well use my
scared.
luck.
We're big
Yeah.
kids. We're not scared.
well, Dawson, with your with
I'm a
your
big
with
boy.
your epic success here, I will say that at some point you've got this huge squad of operatives. A lot of them you don't know. That being said, you notice that there's someone trailing y'all's groups of operatives behind you. There's something trailing you. You look back, and you don't you have a scout helmet?
No, but I've got the max level of rifle scope, so I could just detach my scope or just
Okay,
pick up my rifle.
I'm gonna say at least through your rifle scope, you look back and you can see. Do you have thermals or do you just have the zoom?
I've got max rifle. I've got everything.
Okay, there's a small thermal signature following you guys, and you just barely catch it, just barely. It's about 200 meters behind y'all's group. Like
Can I
it's
make a detective vision?
literally coming from where y'all just were.
Can I make a detective vision to figure out what it is?
I'm
Can I
telling you.
outline?
Um, I'll give it to you
I just
because
like
you made
rolling.
the 4. I'll just say you got epic sword training success. You can see it. It looks like a human.
So,
And
Looks like.
how to approach this?
but I will say that they are at the extreme distance. Like you got all y'all's squads are visible because you're all visible because all the illumination orbs
Yeah.
and all the flashlights. Whoever it is traveling without a flashlight.
How do I tell everyone about this or do I keep it quiet?
I don't know.
I'm gonna do something I haven't done in a while. I'm gonna go to Sputnik and make sure it's pretty quiet, so not many people, maybe Drew's character, can hear it. But say, don't don't be alarmed, don't show reaction. But there's someone behind us.
There's someone like Okay. Was
There
big,
is a
small?
human. There is a human-looking figure at the max distance back behind us. No lights, just coming towards us.
Traveling with no light. What do you think about that, Animus?
Uh, well, I mean, there's various ways they're traveling without light. You can't see any more than that.
Yeah, but to be that far behind means they either purposely didn't start moving till we did when we all come down here, or they're somehow coming through at a different angle, or the part that I personally think is the more likely. If they didn't hold back long enough at the fort, and that's a scout for a carrion, I'd rather not be
Question:
stuck in here with a horde coming in here.
which way is the water flowing, by the way? Are we fighting against it or with
You're
it?
fighting against it the whole way.
Okay.
All
So
right,
if
I'm
someone were
actually.
to have let go, they would get pushed back, right?
Do what?
If somebody were to have let go from the string, they would get gotten pushed back, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, how many how many successes did he get on that?
Epic.
Yeah, I got story changing.
I mean, can he see that it's human headed?
Uh, are you gonna delay walking long enough to get a good view? Which
I
means
mean,
you
I
would have to
can.
break off from your
I'm
squad a
willing
little
to
bit.
turn. I am willing to turn, look, and make it take a harder detect check with vision if it would change anything.
No, you got epic success. I'm gonna say if you're willing to lag behind, and that's the words I'm asking for, lag behind a little bit.
She'll give them a look, and then yeah, I'll lag behind for a second to get a better look.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a clear description. What you see, it looks like a human who is fighting against the current to pull themselves behind y'all, like they're having a lot of difficulty, as if they're making super slow progress. It seems like they're moving very quietly, though. It looks like despite fighting all the water, they're moving as quietly as possible. Um, from you can see the outfit. It looks like it's a shiver technician. It looks like one of those guys y'all saw walking around repairing the wall and stuff. That being said, they're not wearing power armor. They're not wearing the shiver power armor. It's just a technician, in overalls. The difference is they're wearing night vision goggles, and you do see that they, while not having power armor, and I mean it's just a little weird, but they've also got what looks like a flechette rifle, and it looks like several magazines.
Okay.
I'm gonna relay that
Not
to them
exactly a
in a
big threat to you guys,
I'm gonna relay that
if it
to
was
them
a threat.
over a private channel.
About how far
All
back
right.
are they?
Let me know when
200
we hit an
meters.
intersection, by the way.
Okay. Um,
Are
Brandon.
we going to have to shoot things again, fellas?
I don't know.
Probably.
Brandon, let me know when we hit an intersection.
You've hit another one.
Okay, if that's the case, I'm gonna stop and make sure we do a head count first.
So far everybody's there, except for maybe
Okay.
Ryder's character, who's way in the back. Or
Well,
I'm
then we
sorry,
have to wait
Dawson.
for him.
Yeah, Dawson's character, Krieg. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
If we
mean,
have one less than the head count, I want to get a confirmation if anyone can see them.
Yeah, nobody's
If
missing.
we can't, after 5 minutes, then we'll keep moving.
okay.
Even the unconscious Wraith Raider is still with y'all.
Is it that you said that one person's missing, or are we
so
lagging
they're
behind?
asleep. But
Dawson's character Krieg, the human scout, is lagging to the very rear of the group.
All right, I'll wait for him just a little bit so he can catch up a little bit.
Okay,
I'm gonna
the
go
rest
over
of the
open
squad
channel
Before,
and say
are
keep
moving
moving.
forward. Huh?
yeah,
I'm
before
going.
we go.
I'm going over open channel and saying keep moving, don't stop.
Noted. And then I start moving.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch to a private channel between the group and go. All right, do we want to jump this dude, or what's the go to? I can hide at this
Hey,
intersection and jump them.
Sputnik.
Yes.
You good with the teleport?
Sure.
Ooh, I like it.
Hang tight to me.
Got it.
And I teleport both of us back to the figure.
So you would say, air quotes, y'all are still pretty close to the bridgehead, huh?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Oh
Go
no.
ahead and make your roll for the teleport.
Oh
All
no.
right.
Don't botch. Bam. Salvation Tower.
Don't botch. They get ripped in half. We lose 2 members.
We're going to. Hold on, find
Is
where my
there like
teleport
something
is.
bad that could happen if you botch a teleport?
I
I mean,
mean,
there's lots.
Anything
I don't
bad
know.
can happen. It's up to the team.
Not a one at least.
What'd you roll in your success dice?
A 10,
What's your so that's your
which is
total?
not
What's your total? Oh,
like.
did you not succeed?
No, it was not a succeed. I needed a 12.
Oh, okay.
No bot.
Drew,
So he doesn't teleport.
I guess you put your hand on I guess that would be oh my God, what's
Sputnik.
Sputnik's shoulder,
Sputnik.
and you go to to create your reality fold effect. And you kind of get that feeling, where you kind of just blink out of existence and you just, appear somewhere. But for a moment, just for like a flicker, you feel like you and Diamond are in a black open area and you're just floating in space, and you feel like something's trying to grab you and this hand starts reaching out for you. Um and you just get this utter feeling of terror for a moment. I mean, even Diamond, you see this. You share this vision, quote unquote. That being said, you guys slam unceremoniously back into the sewer where you were standing.
Oof.
We were in between.
Like that. Whoa, what the fuck was that?
Okay, well, that was something.
That was
I would give you
Can
damage
Krieg
notice.
when
make
you're in
a
water.
Can Krieg make the stealth when she hits the intersection?
I will say, because of the rushing water and all of the other squads, I will say you get a couple really weird looks and like people are like, what the fuck, kind of, what are they doing?
Uh, can I talk over overcom to everyone?
Always.
I felt the rope get a little lighter back there. Are you guys okay?
Rope?
Yeah, I have a grappling hook. So somebody at the very end of the rope it has the other part of it.
Didn't know we were holding
Yeah,
rope.
Established at the very beginning.
I don't think our squad was
I was gonna
attached. You
say
said, bro.
it's there if people want to hold on to it. I
Yeah,
assume every
people
now and
want it.
so
Well,
many
Oh,
I'm
sorry, so
holding.
you're not holding on to it? I hear water, right? I hear a weird splashy sound.
I mean, there is, I'm gonna say, unceremoniously, like it is noticeable that like two people out of the group like blip out of existence for a second and then just violently slam back into the water.
Should I
How
be worried
noticeable.
about
We were
that?
in the back.
Yeah, I would say it's hard to see because there are 30 people,
Okay. Got it. Just making sure. So
30 plus people.
I mean, we are in
I'm
the
going
back.
But
to
he did say
assume
he
the
was
others
waiting for the end
can.
of he was waiting for the tail of everything, which
Yeah.
is fine.
I'm gonna wait. No,
I
I'm not
would
gonna.
go
I'm gonna
back over.
let the others. I'm gonna let the others take care of that issue.
I
Because
just
I
go
was
back
already
over
told to keep
com to
moving.
just say tripped.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can
since
Krieg make
they
a
already
stealth
told me to
whenever we
keep
hit the
moving, I'm just
intersection?
gonna let the other people near them just deal with it.
Okay.
If there's a problem that arises, I'm sure they'll let me know.
All right. Drew, for some reason you find that your character's heart is racing. You don't know why. Well, maybe you do know why.
Yeah. I mean, I could assume why.
But,
But,
it was a failed
But
reality fold. Sometimes those don't work out.
but make Krieg make a stealth check when they hit the intersection to gang up on this motherfucker.
So who are you staying behind to jump this guy? Is that what's going on?
I'm not. She's not staying behind. She's gonna keep walking as if he, like she didn't notice him, but when she hits the intersection, she might turn to go down, slightly go down one of the other corners and wait.
Make a
And
stealth.
yeah, I love stealth.
So
It's my bread
are
and
you
butter.
gonna allow the bulk of the operatives to get 100 meters away from you?
Yeah,
Okay, that's
because
kind
that's a
of the
pass
question.
with 4
Is
degrees.
anybody staying with him?
That's a
mean,
pass with 4 degrees, so I'm practically invisible.
I don't.
I'm a slave to Sputnik at this point.
I,
So it's up to Sputnik.
I don't want to leave anybody behind. Shit always goes bad that way.
Could always reality
Oh.
fold again.
Yeah, do it again.
I seem to remember a BPM saying reality folding is strictly forbidden.
I mean,
And based on what I just felt, oh,
just because I failed,
Yeah.
I'm sure a
So
little
so
liberal application of drugs would help.
a little fluke.
I've got faith in our heaven.
Yeah. Who
Slurps, by the
needs
way, do
luck?
you want to be doing anything?
I have to go.
All right, sir. Well, it was good having you. We're gonna keep trucking on for just a little bit longer, and then we're gonna stop. I say we can probably get another 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll find a good stopping point.
All right, then. Good luck on everyone else's adventure so far. Try not to get us killed.
We'll try.
I won't.
All right, bye.
All right. All right.
Okay.
So at least
So
in
I got
some,
success with 4. So
yeah.
whenever that comes up,
So right, Krieg, you see the lights of the squads like going down the corridor. They're getting a fair bit of, they're 100 meters away now, which means that the person or thing that's following you is 100 meters closer. Um, you look back, and I'm still going to give you your detect check. I mean, it's really hard to see them. It's really hard to spot them. But given that you're closer now and you were around a corner, I'll say that you can see that same heat signature slowly making its way behind y'all squads. And Drew, Sputnik, are y'all gonna stay at the end? Are y'all gonna fall back? What are y'all doing? Krieg specifically stated that waited till there was a corner and he was gonna chill around the corner. So I assume the rest of the squads are going down another tunnel.
Well, like I said, am attached to Sputnik at this point.
Sputnik
You
should
know,
go.
I do happen to have a rank in stealth.
Roll it.
I do happen to have one rank.
please pass. That's a pass. That's a big pass.
I don't want to meta, and I know that Drew can't really do this, but I just had this whole vision of just Sputnik just like slowly just looking at Drew and then just slowly ducking his head beneath the water and
Sinking down, just
just holding his breath.
I thought you were about to get that Homer meme where he just sinks into the
he's
hedges.
he's gonna Rambo Navy SEAL this shit. You
I mean,
know,
that's what Krieg's doing.
I'm totally with the four stouts. Yeah, Krieg's definitely like sunk down in the water, like all Navy SEAL style.
She's
What was
practically invisible.
that movie with Charlie Sheen? Was it Tiger's Blood, where he's like in a bush with a
Like
crossbow, I think, or something like that?
like like this is where a Gator Stormer would really be awesome.
Really would.
But
Krieg would
Okay,
wrestle a
so yeah,
gator.
I passed the stealth with 2 degrees.
okay. And Drew, did you got to make a stealth too? Difficulty 10.
If he fails, he gets thrown off of the
I'm
oven.
not gonna make it more difficult because you're holding on to Spike the whole time. I'm just gonna make it difficult.
Okay.
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 I'm gonna assume you guys are about 50 meters back from Krieg.
That's a no.
Sure. That's
That's
a
a
no
no.
on that stealth check.
Did you botch it or did you fail it?
Did not botch it.
Okay.
So
All right.
Drew's head's just sticking up out of the
So
water.
so let me just
There's
do
just
this.
the sound of.
Let me do this right for Krieg. So Krieg, you can see your target slowly creeping up, and up ahead you can see that Sputnik has disappeared beneath the waves, much like yourself. But Drew seems to be kind of floundering in the water a little bit. Not 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 looking a fool or anything, but he's just not doing a good
Oh,
job. He's
I'd like
he's
for his
having a
face
hard
to
time
just.
of it.
I'd like for his face to just keep getting knocked back by the pressure of the water.
Like he's trying to be stealthy, but like waves of
He's,
water keep like knocking him off his footing.
he's
And
like a shark fin.
and about that time, that figure that's following raise its rifle uh, down the corridor. They're still moving slowly, but they're definitely taking aims on Drew.
Is there a way that I could sneak up to him and like put my knife to his throat?
The person that's
Like a
coming up the
knife?
corridor. If
Yeah.
you stand still right now, they're gonna come straight to you.
Then I'm basically like a crocodile in the water.
Um, all right, I'm gonna say they're about 10 meters off. You can see that they've still got max aims on Drew. They're still, like I said, there's still 50 meters between Drew and this guy. Um, at this point, you can see that they've attached a silencer on their weapon.
All right. Would he be like next to me or enough that he's about to walk past me?
Yeah, I'm gonna say
All right.
they'll be within a closing action for you. What do you want to do?
Because uh, I'm going to because I would feel bad if I don't do this. Going to make another stealth check.
No, you don't
I
need
want
to.
to come out. Okay, well, if you'll allow. I'm gonna basically just come up out of the water and put my knife around his throat and grip onto one of his arms and saying, "Don't move."
Okay.
I feel like Fortunate Son just started playing.
Um.
Burning.
All right. So this person,
I will make an intimidate,
you
by the
can
way, if I
you
need to.
you can tell it's a woman. And like I said, they're not wearing armor, so it's just like basically a civilian kind of thing. Um, but they go rigid when you grab them and you say don't move, and they
All right.
say and they look around and say op.
Yes. And who are you?
You can feel they're making some really odd movements.
The
Um,
moment they start moving, I press my knife even harder against their throat. Not enough, like enough to do one of those really tiny cuts and say, "Don't move."
um,
Uh-oh.
make
I
an
know. I
intimidate.
have a feeling I know what this means.
Gladly.
I don't know
Yippee!
anything about splay stuff, so I'm just taking a wild
Pass
guess
with 2 degrees.
over here.
All right. At this point, well, I want to say I'm going to say the difficulty is going to be 10. Yeah, let's make it 10. So it's
Then
2
pass
degrees.
with 2 degrees still.
Okay. They go rigid for a moment. They say, "Well, this is kind of a pickle, isn't it?"
Uh, right now, yes. Unless you tell me what you're doing, I'm going to slit your throat and leave you to drag up down the stream here.
Um. All right. I
I'll
want
make
you.
an interrogate check.
Let's see. Well, no,
I have
you
that too.
passed your intimidate. Let's see. Yeah, it seems pretty reasonable. You you can see them very well since they're standing right next to you. You can see the woman. Her eyes are covered by this night vision goggles, but you can see she's just really chomping down on her teeth really, really hard. You're not really sure what's going on with that, but she's making some really weird facial expressions.
I'm going to grunt and press the knife a little harder. And I said, tell her one last time that how many fucking times do I have to tell you to stop what you're doing? You will not move unless I tell you to. You will not speak unless I tell you to.
While you're
I'm
sitting there
giving you
talking,
one chance.
while you're sitting there talking to her, she literally kind of goes limp on you and just starts convulsing.
She just had a suicide.
This
Just
is
to
what I
be
think it is.
on the safe side, Krieg's gonna just go ahead and slit the knife
Uh,
and drop the body in the water.
okay. I will say that you do see that there's a bunch of foam coming out of her mouth.
Yeah, just to be triple sure, she's gonna slit the knife and just drop the body in the water,
Okay.
and then catch up to the others.
Just nonchalant. Okay. No,
I
you're
Up
good.
mean,
you.
that's what she's trained to do is to scout and sneak up on people. She's not meant to be a bulkhead breaker.
You
What
want
she
to hear
does, she does
my?
it
You
well.
want to hear my wild theory right now?
Go ahead.
I think she's a shapeshifter of some sort, and she's about to change.
I will say, before she
That's my
completely
guess.
falls through the water and I let her go, can I make a detect with vision to see if there's anything unique on her?
Um, you can actually see she's got a couple. She's got a satchel with a couple grenades in it. That's the
Uh,
only extra thing that she had, besides
Krieg,
a couple things of a couple
Krieg will also
magazines of flechette.
Krieg will take the night vision and the satchel then, and then just drop the body afterwards.
Okay. Anyways, I
After
assume you catch up to
specifically
your.
killing her.
Okay.
After
No, I got you.
specifically making sure she's dead. Yeah,
Yeah,
then we
I'm not
continue.
gonna make you roll it. Um, you did pretty good with your intimidate there. So
And
anyways,
that's my conspiracy
you
theory.
catch
Stay
up with
tuned.
the back end of the squad, which would be Drew's character and Diamond.
She's gonna be cleaning off her knife in the rushing water, saying, "Up, let's go. We gotta catch up."
Circle.
How far away are we from our investigation?
The
What?
sound of Drew's character gobbling water.
Yeah, gurgle. Yep.
How far away from our end zone?
All right. So
Oh wait,
what I'm gonna do
wait.
is y'all
So,
end up y'all have to go pretty hurriedly to catch up with the bulk of everyone else.
Well,
Um,
if we hit another intersection, we're gonna do a head count and then slow down if we realize anyone's missing.
so real
For like
quick,
5 minutes top.
we were doing this wrong. Drew shouldn't be gurgling water. He should have the world's most intense wedgie because we were laying down and the water was rushing us towards that person. So no, Drew has one of the most intense wedgies on the side of this side of Mort.
I don't
Wouldn't
think
it
my
actually be?
skin tight
Oh wait,
bonded
are you
suit.
like you're face down looking at the person?
Drew, would you rather the alternative to a skin tight suit against rushing water than a wedgie?
I mean, I already have a skin tight form fitted suit.
All right, well then Drew's asshole gets tickled quite a bit from that rushing water.
when you catch up,
Oh no.
hey, when you catch up with with all the other squads, Krieg, I will say, thumbing through that backpack, there's also what appears to be a small radio.
She's gonna tune into its frequency and see if there's anything on it.
It is waterproof, but I will tell you, those of you who are standing around the media, it's not a shiver issue radio.
Let's see what this is all about then.
You turn it on.
Yeah,
Okay. It's just open radio.
there's nothing but just no sound
Just static.
coming through. Well, I don't think we should speak through it just
Turn it
in
on.
case. But,
Turn it on and say target eliminated. Don't do that. Just kidding.
okay, you twisted my ankle.
Don't do
No.
it.
If there's nothing through it, then she's just gonna leave it on for a second at a low volume and unless something comes through it. While they walk.
Okay, that's cool. All right. I'm gonna say you guys spend at least the next 2 hours just pushing hard through these sewers. Um,
I do want to make
there's all
another
sorts of
detect vision
critters and
behind us.
creatures. I will say that you don't see anything, regardless of your roll, just because I'm gonna wrap it up to a certain point here. Um, at some point, y'all catch up with everybody else. I don't know what y'all are thinking, and I know we are down a couple players at this moment. Um, And that's
The
when,
horse.
you guys catch up and everybody's moving in, and the whole big wad of operatives is kind of moving in concert. Um, and then I need a visual detect at a 13.
I was about to say, you really want to say 13?
I'm just thinking about it.
Uh,
Anybody who
pass
wants
with
to
three
roll it.
degrees.
I'll
No,
pass.
pass with 4 degrees.
I don't pass. No bodge.
Okay.
I'm.
I don't
I
bother checking.
see.
My job
This
is
is
to kill what my
why.
commander tells
This
me to kill.
this is why I have these bad feelings and say the things that I do about Krieg dying, because there is no reason I should pass unless something bad is about to happen. So hit me with it.
Well,
Smite me, God.
who got the worst roll? I'm gonna say the person who got the worst roll is the one that didn't roll.
Drew.
I rolled. I failed, but I didn't botch.
Okay.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
have
stop my
detect, and I wasn't gonna bother rolling
Oh,
just
my bad.
because
Okay.
well, my job is to kill what my commander says to kill, not look for him.
Okay. And
Pass to
so
Right now, I'm focused on getting everyone through.
we got 3 degrees on Dawson.
4
4.
vision.
Okay. Diamond, did you get anything good?
it's pass with 2. That's
All right. Well, I'll just say that you guys get into a spot where the water's not rushing quite as hard. Indeed, the level has come down about a foot here. It seems like y'all are probably um, going up a little bit.
Oh shit.
So you guys are only in about 4 feet of water. It's not particularly clean, and you guys have seen fish, you've seen creatures, you've seen all like just dozens and dozens of cockroaches all over the ceiling. I mean, it's not like this place is empty or clean in any way. Um, you've seen several signs. A couple, occasionally you saw a sign that says Gauze Train. You know, um, that amongst all these tunnels that y'all have gone in, you guys have seen some of these tunnels have opened up into massive underground caverns. Um, there may be cities down there. There may not be. There may be unknown sectors from the city that have been just lost to the ages. Um, and then that's when who made the worst roll? Vortex. Vortex didn't roll.
I didn't
Uh,
roll.
that's right.
My job is to just get everyone out.
Vortex, you're about midway in the blob, and you kick and then you stumble over something like you just kicked a metal pipe that you couldn't see underwater at all. Um,
Oh,
and you fall down into the water. I mean, whatever it is, and you can see that it's done a point of armor damage to you.
really?
Yep, which is
To my base armor.
whatever it was sharp as fuck.
Alright, so
Um,
it's on my body blocker. The resistance goes down by 1, right?
yep, you lose 1 point of resistance, and you kind of look down into the water, and then that's when you see there's a face looking at you.
Beauty?
Hold on, I'm gonna get the full description out. You look down,
Okay.
you look down, and there's a skeletal face looking at you from underneath the water. That being said, Ryder, Dawson, uh, Krieg, you got the 4 successes. I mean, y'all's group is kind of at the back, so I'll put y'all at the most advantageous position for this. And you can see there's all sorts of shapes in the water here, and just with all the trash and debris that y'all are seeing in the water at this point, it makes it kind of hard to see, which is why I increased the difficulty for one reason. And what you can see is there's at least a dozen humanoid-shaped figures in the water around where these 30 ops are standing. There's probably more. You can see them quite clearly. Each one of them has 4 arms, a skull-like face, and they're made out of black metal. You guys have just kind of walked into what looks like a horde of Manchines.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
There's not less than 12 of them.
Oh no.
and they are sitting beneath the water because they don't need to breathe.
Uh.
Dawson, you also got the epic success to see the one that's on the ceiling.
Uh. Uh.
That being said, do you guys want to pause here?
Yeah, I think it's nice we pause here.
Oh boy, ominous pause.
All right.
Oh
I
no.
think I think we'll close it for the night at this point, knowing that
Yeah.
Dawson, Krieg, and the rest of you have generally got between 2 successes and 4 successes, so that you guys are not going to be terribly surprised by this. We're gonna stop.
Honestly, the detect roll of 14, I don't even have detect.
No, no, they got the
It's
drop on
not
you.
possible.
100% they got the drop on you.
Yeah, I would not even be able to see it. So I was like, I'm not even gonna bother.
The only the only
I'll be
redeeming
honest.
the only
I'll
redeeming
be
factor,
honest.
because I'm not gonna leave you on this horrible cliffhanger, is none of them are moving.
Yeah. What's next?
That's a deep breath.
And also, you've
Uh,
seen Manchins, and normally their eyes are lit. None of their eyes are lit.
uh, that's. I feel like. All right. So I'm knocking on a bunch of wood before I speak.
Uh huh.
Uh, Whenever you first said he looked in the water and saw a face, my first instinct was that's a big face and he hit a tooth, and I was like, what's a big face that we've encountered? And I remember you guys showed me a picture of Digger before, and I was like, oh, oh.
So we're gonna
Not
we're
mine.
gonna
We
we're
found
gonna
where he
pause the
speaks.
game here, and we'll pick up here next time. And
Don't
do
We
record
not
it.
found.
do not spoil this for the people who may or may not want to show up for next game.
I can't wait for
Oh,
Cody to come in, and the first thing he does is yell out, "Where are we?"
Yeah. So I'm gonna
we're in
pause.
the
We all
belly of
turn to look
death.
at him like,
So
Yay!
2 XP for everybody, and I'm gonna stop the recording.